Yeah, you know with KD and Laughing Stock, niggas got that voice. In this crazy world, we gotta make a choice. They say our logic's swishy, but we're making noise from the top of the charts. Here the people rejoice. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss.
Hello.
Yeah, that worked like a treat, baby. Welcome to Squishy Logic.
Yay, we're back again.
Can't get rid of us just like a flea bag.
Yeah.
We are a flea bag just like your mum's hag. I'm not saying that your mum is a big slag. I'm just saying that I like it when she wears rags.
I'm saying your mum's a slag. I'm fucking saying it.
To be fair, she's always on her back in bed. You're not wrong, actually.
Well, not your mum.
Their
mum.
Oh, their mum. I don't
You
know. We need them to be nice to us.
They know it.
We need their help.
That's the nicest thing they've heard about their mum in years.
Maybe so, but we still need their help. We need you out there, whether you're listening, whether you're looking. We need you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or do a follow, whatever it is you're watching on. You know how it works probably better than we do.
Touch all of those buttons in just the right way.
And as always, we are available
Much
first
like
and
your mum.
cool. First and foremost, we are always available on Rumble. As live stream, uncensored, unfiltered, right here. This is the first place you can get the episodes, and it comes out as we figure it out.
Yeah, it comes out in like
Stream
dream
of
feeds.
conscious.
There's the stream is always the best place to see everything that we've got to offer.
Yeah,
as it happens.
But of course, there are always secondary streams that go on
Yeah,
YouTube,
there are
on
always secondary streams
Facebook,
on
on Twitch,
yeah,
through KD
little edited
Comedian.
videos and stuff. So if you fancy a little watch
Yeah.
of a little bit of something of us, go onto the YouTube.
And well, the YouTube though, we've also got the Twitch on KD Comedian. I think the YouTube is KD Comedian and podcast. You've got a Squishy Logic. Just type it in on whatever you're in, that, and it'll come up. We're also on the Facebook too.
Yeah.
Also on Spotify, Apple, on the Deezer, on wherever you get your podcast from.
You can find us.
There. KD Comedy Podcast, Squishy Logic will be included there, along with the P's in the pod, 2 P's in the podcast. Every now and then we do it. Have recorded a new one with the Evil Hippie. That was about the story of DB Cooper, which you don't know anything about. You don't know anything about the story of DB Cooper.
Oh, I know nothing, of course.
How would you know?
Why would I ever have known anything about the story of DB?
As everybody thought.
Was it DB or DV?
DB.
DB,
yeah,
of course, yeah.
As everybody knows, like 14 minutes into that episode, we blew up.
We just disappeared.
We disintegrated.
The internet just took us and placed us somewhere we were not sure where.
Yeah.
It's taken us a long time to get back.
I think I know now how Anakin Skywalker felt. Just stuck with a load of sand and stuff he doesn't want all around him. Just get him in his crevices.
I hate sand.
No, you
it's
think...
coarse.
Hold on, you're
and
thinking
it gets everywhere.
Oh, no, you're not thinking of his father, but that is him, actually.
Yeah, that is
that's
him.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm getting confused with Star
You're
Wars.
thinking of Luke.
Because I don't like crap things. Which is the film with the Death Star? Oh, wait, hold on. That's about 7 of them.
That's about. I mean, you're not wrong.
Right,
There's
stupid.
a lot of them with Death Stars in.
So stupid.
And you know, in that you know the first Death Star, and you know the one that's in the third film as well.
Yes and no.
At any point, did you know that the second Death Star was actually bigger than the first one? Supposed to be bigger, more dangerous. They don't mention it once. But if you're a Star Trek,
which is the second one?
Right, so in the first movie, there's the Death Star, right, and it's going to blow up.
I don't want to.
It's going to blow up the
I
thing.
can just
right?
tell you were getting in there.
In the third one,
one,
they've got the Death Star that's being built over fucking Endor, right, over where the Ewoks are.
Sure.
And they have to go flying inside it to blow it up, and it's all a big thing. Apparently,
that's about the most gone explanation of Star Wars.
Essentially, yeah.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing. It's this whole big thing that happens, right?
It's actually
out in
dealt with
space,
really easily.
Yeah, but like, This thing is supposed to be bigger and more deadly and more dangerous, but they never mention that once in the movie. But because of all of the fucking... Oh, it's frozen us again.
Oh, okay. Carry on. You can still hear us.
Because of all of the broken ass fucking like background content that is going on in the Star Wars universe and the extra canon shit that they've added in over the years, everyone's like, oh no, actually it's got this much extra power, it's this extra size, it's this, and this. So what? But if it's not in the movie, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, that's why as soon as you said, like, they never say it in the film anyway, I'm like, well, then it's not. It's not. Who said it is?
Yeah, it's fucking right.
Yeah,
It's
like,
fucking right.
if it doesn't say it in the movie, it didn't happen.
And everyone's like, oh, well, if actually in the extended universe... I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Do you think I have enough time to sit down and read 25 fucking novels of the Star Wars universe? Do you think I've got the time for that?
I ain't even going to watch the films.
Yeah, it's literally a film. The whole thing that started it was a film. If it had started from a series of books, maybe go back and read the books. But this literally was film. It should all be film. If it's not something I can sit down and watch, or at the very least sit down and play, I'm not interested. I don't want to know about the extra canon in the comic books. I don't want to know what fucking Chewbacca's son's name was. I don't give a fuck. All right? I don't care. I just want to know, is it in the movie? Is it a good movie? If it's not a good movie, I'm not watching it. Oh, fuck me, mate. Honestly, it gets deeper and weirder than that.
You know, I'm going to cut this fucking off before we go further.
Yeah, because I want to rant with Star Wars and it's just annoying.
You're the one that likes it.
I know.
Yeah, I turned off ages ago because I'm like, oh, it's Star Wars. It's so boring. But I was going to say as well, though, welcome to Squishy Logic, though.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say that part? No, I was meant to say I'm your comedian baby face and everybody's favourite love. So KD Hink, and I'm joined by the Star Wars lover to my left, the head Pope of the comedy parish, and the only Pope who is still kicking right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Nathan.
Ain't many popes about nowadays.
No.
Nope.
Well, I mean, there's none other than you.
I think there is actually one other pope.
Who?
I think there's a different church that has its own pope.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
What is it?
Let's have a search for the other pope.
Yeah. Is there another pope? Because I know if you're thinking like we're on Vatican II, but that was like a different thing. If you're thinking about that.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that.
I mean, I suppose something that literally uses the word pope though. I imagine there's like things that are essentially like, you know, their version of a pope.
Yeah.
It would just surprise me if they use the exact word pope. But then again, I suppose sometimes the easiest way to bring people to a religion is to make it similar and hold over stuff from other religions. Every religion that's been about has done that. They've always taken stuff from other religions to make it easy for the transition. Hence why, you know, we know Jesus was not.
No, I was talking about my ass. It's fine.
Fair enough.
However, there is something referred to as an anti-pope.
I've heard of that. I don't know why. What is that?
So, an anti-pope is a person who claims to be Bishop of Rome and leader of the Roman Catholic Church in opposition to the legitimately elected pope.
Oh, okay. That sounds like something that might.
So it's literally just someone going, "I am the true pope."
Yeah.
He is an imposter.
I suppose that might have been like during the Vatican I, and there was at one point when there was like technically two popes.
Right. Yeah, there was that was literally, as I googled it came up like, did you mean the two popes? Is the two popes real? It's like,
I think that might have been where Vatican I and II split. I don't know. I get a bit confused around that time. I'm still I love all that stuff.
I mean, it's fascinating shit.
I was chuffed the other day when it was like, what was the original name for Istanbul? And I went to
Constantinople.
I went on a whole thing about it. It was Constantinople. I wasn't sure because I thought that there was Constantinople, then something else.
Yeah.
Then it became Istanbul.
Right.
I thought there was something in the middle.
Right.
So I actually thought I was going to be wrong.
Right.
I went on this whole thing about like in Constantinople is where they put where they actually edited the Bible. It's called the Order of Constantinople.
Mm.
That's where they decided to, as I was just saying a second ago, you know, we're going to take this religion and we're going to change it so that it's most like these religions at the moment, more like them.
More like the pagan shit.
so that it's easier to transition.
Oh,
Hence why they
Jesus'
changed it.
birthday is now going to be in the fucking winter 'cause that fits in with their fucking winter solstice stuff.
Yeah, it's the
We're gonna
same,
do
wi-
stuff
it's the
with-
sun
yeah.
god wild day. whatever
The
it's
Easter,
called.
yeah, Easter's gonna
There we go.
change to this day so that we can do this with this, and that
I don't know if
fits in
Easter's
with that.
actually a changed date. I don't know about that one.
No, I think it's not that it's a changed date. It's just that it happened to be close enough to another festival again.
Yeah.
After the replacement of where it was like, if you do Christ's birth at this time and you do Christ's death at this time, then you cover this, this, and this. You know what I mean? It was really
Yeah.
strategically done.
It's all like we would never know. I'm saying it like we know exactly anyway. Like
Yeah.
you know what we don't really.
And no one knows the true date of Jesus' birth. And also, there was not
Well,
there wasn't actually a census at that time.
What do you mean?
The Romans have got a very, very good set of records of
Oh,
their
yeah.
censuses and stuff.
Yeah.
There was not a census in that time around the time of Jesus' birth.
Well, why?
There just wasn't.
That's cool.
And they were like, oh, that's a big part of the story. The fact that they do like a whole census to sort of,
What's that meaning in the story? How does that?
I can't remember. There's a part of it that is referring to the census.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they don't do it.
I just admit.
There was none. They didn't do it.
I don't know why all the early Jesus stuff always I was so bored with all of that. Like when I was as far as like being fascinated with the religious
Yeah.
stuff. Like that part, I don't know why I mean, it's like when you're watching Lion King.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the bit when Simba's young.
Yeah.
You're waiting for when he gets old and tough,
Yeah,
beat some shit up.
yeah.
Who cares
I
about-
just can't wait for the rest of this movie.
Or Hercules, that's another one too.
Yeah.
Forget about Hercules when he's like thin and stuff.
Once he fights the Hydra, shit's on.
Even when he meets Philatites and he goes through the training montage and then he suddenly beef, that's when it's on.
Yeah, but once
He's
that...
an idiot for a while.
Legit, when I was a kid watching that movie and that Hydra fight happened, I was like, this is insane. Holy
Felt
shit.
amazing back then.
Yeah. It was really good. I loved that film.
Yeah, I was one of my favourite Disney films growing up.
Yeah.
Is that right kind of time for us?
And it had James Woods as Hades. Fucking great turn for him.
Yeah. He's just good at any kind of
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
guy, really.
Yeah. It's because he's an evil cunt.
Yeah.
Legit, he's an evil bastard in real life. He sued a man into the grave and then kept suing his family.
To be fair, man, you do get supervillains in real life. And one of the biggest supervillains in real life, we are going to be talking today all about his company. We are going to be looking today at the many curious deaths and the disturbing policies of Amazon.
Yeah, Jeffy Bezos is definitely a supervillain type character.
100%.
Like, totally.
He is just not a. I don't think he really lives on this planet.
If I could put him
He's
in a
trying not to,
category,
but
he is a Lex Luthor type.
it's hard to imagine anything other because of the boldness.
Yeah, but like he doesn't have to lean quite so hard into it. Like,
I know
legit.
exactly what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many of his practices are just like legitimately
Owns islands and
shitty
stuff too.
practices.
I
Oh,
swear he owns like
of course he
island
owns an
thing.
island.
Like
He's
a-
one of the richest men in the world. Of
Yeah.
course he owns an island. And of course people go there, and of course it gets weird because that's what islands are for. You go to islands so that you can do shit that you can't do anywhere else.
It's basically open water on land, isn't
Yeah.
it? So I guess it's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. There's their own territory. No one else can
'cause it's not a
touch it.
country, is it?
No.
So that's interesting.
It's your fucking
how,
island.
Like the laws work, like with the Epstein Island stuff, for example.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With it being, I guess it is in the US. That one then must be. I mean, maybe it's not in. I don't know.
The thing is, once something gets big enough to be an international incident,
They can
you
do what they want
can
then.
start getting international law involved. At which
Like,
point
get
you
off
get
my land.
No, it's not even. It's like Interpol. Legit,
Yeah.
Interpol will get involved and start going, right, we're investigating this, and then we're going to send that information to your relevant countries.
Yeah, everybody thinks that like FBI is the one to be scared of, and
Yeah, no.
Interpol is the one to be scared of.
Interpol know their shit, man. They're
Yeah.
looking for anything, anywhere, anytime.
And borders mean nothing.
Yeah, because they've got the fucking pass.
The only borders that mean anything are borders where you don't want to cross either.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go
Yeah, if
North
you
Korea
wanna
to
get- yeah.
escape, go ahead.
Go for it, motherfucker.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Go enjoy those paper oranges in those fake ass stalls.
I'm not going to lie though as well. obviously we're not going to get straight onto the topic.
Yeah,
as
yeah, we got
never do.
chatting stuff. Yeah.
But I want to say though as well, there's a lot to it. Because I didn't get to like go through all of the stuff. Like, I'm just, it might have to be two. I don't know. Or I might just cut certain bits out and cover more bits in detail.
Yeah, we can always do that.
Jump about, see how I can cover maybe the bigger bits in more detail and then maybe go back if I got. I'll wing it. I know what I'm going. I'm just unsure about the time frame of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But you know me, I'm always working.
His
head's always
He's
working.
always got that brain on the go.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Never
Actually,
turns
I'm
it
not.
off.
It is very hard actually turning it off.
Yeah.
I have learned to love games again for that. Games can help to turn your brain off.
They
They can just don't get into the habit of playing them all the time. I can't do it.
I've
I mean, you were saying before you used to have like
I had a real problem with gaming back in the day. Like a real fucking problem with it.
depending on what
like-
age you are. I mean, I don't know if I'd say a problem.
Oh no, it was I could literally, if I wasn't careful, I could play a game all day. Literally all day.
I've never been able
I would get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I would start playing the computer game. I'd go for a walk at around about 1 o'clock. I'd get back around 4 o'clock, and I'd just start playing the game again. And like I don't know how I did it at this stage, because now I would start getting antsy. I'd start getting pissy.
Yeah.
Or maybe I did, and that was the reason why I had such fucking game rage issues.
Yeah.
But
And
after
you had your
a-
walk, so
yeah.
if you'd built that into your routine as well, then maybe too.
Yeah. But like that's part of it, is like you've just got to accept the fact that your brain is just getting these tiny little dopamine hits every time you complete something in a game. That's why games are fun. Because every time you complete a mission, you get a little dopamine hit, as if you would get a dopamine hit for anything else.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like, if you eat a nice bite of a sandwich, it's about the same level of dopamine hit as completing a mission on a computer game, a difficult mission, or beating a boss.
Yeah.
You get a proper good dopamine hit from it. And that's why games can become addictive, because it's not the game that is addictive, it's the dopamine hit that's addictive. And once your entire life becomes nothing but playing computer games, your brain gets wired into the only thing that is fun is computer games.
Yeah.
And nothing else brings you the dopamine hit. So you can get addicted to it in the same way that you can get addicted to
Anything.
literally anything.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which is always kind of weird that people don't really realise that you can essentially get addicted to anything.
Yeah. And it's fucking terrifying, but there we go. That's the human brain. It is easily fucking hackable.
It is easily hackable, but it's also kind of amazing too.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Like, it's impossibly hard to control, but it is also kind of awesome.
It is a shame it doesn't come with a manual, though.
It's a shame that it's so hard to multitask as well. Especially for men. There we go. Send. So that was so hard then to try and keep that together, to like do that and send it. I still feel like I was possibly going to be sending that to some random person in Africa or something.
Some Nigerian prince.
Mr. Carlos Hinkenza,
I have a business proposition for you.
it seems like he's telling me my penis is very huge. How does this know so much?
I have millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars that I would like to send to you.
Stuck
But first you
inside
must
the
send
bank
me
account.
27 pounds
And I cannot get the money out.
for tax delivery reasons.
But with a small price from you, I can get the money out and you can have all of the money.
I saw what
This
happened.
sounds like bullshit, but I assure you it is not.
We are reputable sources, sir. Reputable.
It's amazing that actually worked on people.
Old people. Old people.
It's
be
always,
easy to scam.
yeah.
They be very scammable.
It's like the one where they just send like random numbers, like, "Hi, it's your son. I need money," and it works.
Yeah.
It fucking works, 'cause like, "Oh,
Yeah,
it's my
send it.
son. He's desperate. He needs money. He's on a phone that is not his because he can't get access to it.
The only scams that don't draw in old people more so, Bitcoin, NFTs.
Yeah.
That's NTF.
Yeah,
Not
the
too far.
NFTs were an exclusively young person issue. Like,
Which I'm for personally. I mean, if you're gonna scam a young person out of a bit, not too much. How about it? I'm not saying
especially
I would
out
do
of the
it,
kind of fucking idiots who are willing to get NFTs. I'm sorry, but if you got, if
No, that's
you're
what I'm
willing,
saying, that's
if,
what I
yeah,
mean.
if you're willing to spend thousands of pounds on a fucking NFT, then quite frankly, you've got thousands of pounds too much in your bank account, and someone else could be using that money better.
as long as it's not that you've like stolen your parents' card or something.
Yeah,
Or the credit card or something.
yeah,
Like,
and
imagine
that
man.
must have happened.
Oh, that's 100% happened.
Absolutely.
Many times.
But
Look at the
Dad,
credit-
don't worry, it's going to increase in value. Which takes a shit.
I mean, some would have increased. You know, the people that got in it straight away and sold straight away before we got dumped and all that, whatever. But the idea was to get it and collect it only for a bit, so they
Yeah.
could opt out and all that.
Yeah.
See, if it's a scam that even I've managed to understand from seeing these things, and
Yeah.
you know it's prevalent.
If it requires other people to constantly want to buy at higher and higher prices to continue, that's not going to function.
Yeah,
It just doesn't function.
unless you're Logan Paul, of course.
Yeah, and then the demand drops out the market because no one fucking buys it.
But I can get a picture of the Mona Lisa. Where else would I ever be able to get a picture of the Mona Lisa?
The
Hold on,
most-
I'm going to type in where to find the Mona Lisa into Google. Oh, damn, images came up. I'm only seeing pictures of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. One of the most amazing things for me is that someone got an NFT. This group of people got together and bought an NFT of the entire of the Dune novels, right? It was an NFT of the text of the Dune novels, right? And they were like, yeah, no, literally just the whole thing, but like they paid a fortune for it. And they were like, oh yeah, you don't understand, we're going to make games, we're going to make movies, we're going to make... It's like, no, you don't understand. You don't own the license
They
to
are
it.
idiots.
You just own a digital first print of it.
What are these people like? How can you spend so much money? A group of people,
And be that dumb.
like not even being dumb enough to have the idea, but not checking.
Just Googling it.
Yeah,
Just at the very least doing a quick Google
Asking
search.
anyone that may be smarter than them, which you know they should have a lot of choices.
Especially in like the vastness of the world, but there's got to be people just nearby them that are smarter than at that stage. Like it doesn't matter even if you're working in a preschool. Some kid will tell you.
Yeah, to be fair. But if you don't work in a preschool, don't go to a preschool asking kids about NFTs.
Yeah.
I mean, that might not go too well.
No.
I saw what happens if you.
You get just as good advice as if you ask a fucking crypto bro, though.
Yeah,
It's just as likely to
Yo,
work.
pump and dump, man.
Yeah,
But you gotta
yeah.
do that is what the kids might tell you to do too.
The fucking pump and dumps thing has just gotten out of hand, man. Everyone's doing the pump and dump.
Wow, but the problem is that the crazy thing is though that everybody still
Does
does
it?
it. Like,
Yeah.
you
Oh
know,
no, you don't understand. Fucking what
This
is
is
it?
the coin that's
Hawk
gonna
Tour
change it.
coin is gonna
The
fucking
Hawk
change
Tour
it.
coin is the coin that's going to change it all.
Fucking-
The Hawk Tour coin, I promise you this. You know, she's back podcasting now because
I know. Yeah.
she's been like cleared of any
Yeah.
wrongdoing in
Oh
that
right. Yeah. Sure.
because it was a team.
Right.
I mean, if your name's on it, then I mean, I think that says something else to me. You ever heard the Hanoi?
I don't think her viewers are that many though in comparison. Like the viewer fall off of Hawk Tour has been quite substantial.
Yeah,
It's not a growing platform.
it's not. Surprisingly so.
Yeah.
It might shock a lot of
Yeah.
people that.
Some random person who said something that was quite funny, but not. It's not like it's the first time I've had.
I thought
so
she was cute when I heard her. say
Yeah.
this. I was like, oh yeah.
That
And
is
she's
cute.
right too. We like a Hawk Tour.
We do like a Hawk Tour.
And then I heard it over and over and over and over.
And
But fair play to her though for building, you know,
For
stuff
a
like that.
literal empire off
Yeah.
of it.
And then just kind of killed it.
Yeah.
just took a big old Hawk Tour on top of the whole empire.
Yeah, just right on top of it.
It's just the Hawk was.
It's the worst topping of an ice cream you could possibly have.
Yeah, it's true.
You see, that's it. A hock to it is only good in certain situations. You want a hock to it in that situation, you don't want it on top of your ice cream.
You don't.
Yeah.
You're right. Unless there's chocolate sauce, but then you wouldn't want a hock to it out of someone. If it's hock to it out of the bottle, cool.
Yeah.
Not personally, 'cause I don't like chocolate sauce. Raspberry my
Yeah,
go-to.
right, yeah,
But
yeah.
I know.
I do fuck with the raspberry sauce.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
You gotta read the room, though. You know, people love the chocolate.
Yeah, but
They love the chocolate sauce. They love the chocolate people. They love them all.
okay.
All more than us.
Yeah.
They hate the vanilla. Fuck the vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla. Just keep in your pod, bitch.
What the fuck? Where are we going
I
here? This is a new rabbit hole, Carl.
Have you ever heard? Talk about holes. Have you ever heard of the Hanoi incident? This is what I almost did for a topic today, but I kind of
Hanoi?
realised it was very short and there's not really too much to it.
Is
so
it in
I thought I'd
China
tell
by
you.
any chance?
No, Vietnam, I think it
Oh,
was.
that makes sense.
Particle accelerator basically answers the question of what happens if you stick your hand in.
Oh, I
particle
know this guy.
accelerator.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Don't do that.
No. Well, they didn't know what they were doing because they had a fucking particle accelerator that was from Russia, but all the controls were in Russian, and they had nobody that read Russian.
So they were just like, press this button,
They were
see what
winging
it
it.
does.
They were like, I'm pretty sure we can just remove the stuff with our hands rather than having to do this stuff.
No, you can't.
But they could. They actually could. It's just they had a really bad system for how to, the controls were in the other room. And they had the maze that you should have had to protect everyone. Everyone was getting radiated anyway.
Jesus Christ.
But
Yeah, but that's just 'cause it's Russian.
no, it's 'cause their walls were crap.
Oh God.
They didn't have.
They didn't have
weight enough.
lined walls.
They had like the little maze thing you're supposed to have, for, like the outside for the courtyard for the one bit, and then didn't think about the fact that you'd have to do it all around, and they're doing all the work over here, right next to it. And there's just a few bits of.
Fucking Jesus.
But to be
Christ.
fair, none of them had any training in any of that. It seems. It's actually kind of reminiscent of Amazon, actually.
Yeah. If Amazon owned a particle accelerator, you know this kind of shit would be happening all the time.
There's so many particle accelerators go in the world right now. I didn't realise the hospitals use them and stuff.
What for?
Something to do with pulling something out of something. Iron or something.
Huh?
Something. A load of different things, to be fair. There's like industrial. Apparently, very few, like it's something like 5% of them are like used for like research.
Jesus.
Like we think.
Fuck, I want to own a particle accelerator now.
A lot of people have them, man. Talk to
I want to
Sheldon.
fucking
He built
accelerate
one.
some particles.
Well, they've managed it with that Hadron Collider. The best they've managed to do
Yeah.
is like 99.9999987% of the speed of light. Like
And then they
three
smash
mi-
two
3
atoms
mi-
doing that into each other and then watch the little things that happened.
Basically, yeah.
It's really cool.
And then he put his hand in this one basically, and
Yeah.
he didn't even realise. Like, and then for like weeks he was just like, he spoke to a doctor and everything. And she was just like, "Oh yeah, I know you think you've radiated your hands, but you said they don't hurt. You're moving them. You're all good. Yes, they're grey. I'll give you some cream. Go speak to a dermatologist maybe to be safe." And like a week later, he's like in hospital, like because his like hands start falling apart.
Oh,
I mean, he should have known really,
yeah.
but
Your hands have gone grey.
I know that's not a good sign.
That's not a good thing.
But he also was probably aware there's not much he could do at that point.
Yeah.
Either.
God damn.
People got to do some research on irradiated hands though, which is a rare opportunity. So
Well,
that was cool.
bully for the scientists.
So I thought so. Bully indeed. Right then, talking about bullies, do you want to hear a bit about Amazon? As always, we can jump in with other stuff in between anyway.
Okay, go for it.
It's not like we are not you guys know by now, we are not a regimented deal here.
We are tangent positive.
Tangent positive, and
Yeah.
we are organised disarray, organised chaos.
Positive as well. Yeah.
Positive organised chaos.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I don't know if positive. Well, positive. Well, okay, yeah. We're trying to be as positive about the negative situations as possible.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And hateful on the bad people as possible too.
Yeah, 'cause fuck them.
And joyful for the good people.
'Cause there's so many of them.
unless they're foreign, because we're very racist.
Yes, obviously.
I'm going to say we, I mean him.
I just do not like penguins, and I don't think we should be letting penguins into the UK.
I think you're right too.
I don't care if it's in a fucking zoo, all right?
That's the thing. See,
You know, we're just letting these fucking penguins come over, and we're just imprisoning them instantly because we know they're a problem.
Mm.
So why are we letting the penguins in?
They're taking
Steve Coogan,
Mm.
he's got a new movie
Oh.
where he lives with a penguin.
Oh. Right.
That is propaganda.
You know what? You're right. Actually, yeah, they're taking the penguin side.
They are, yeah.
People forget.
They're trying to force penguin propaganda down our throats.
See, it's a stereotypical thing as well. When I talked about that, about us hating races, being racist, they would instantly think, "Oh, you're on about different people." No,
Yeah.
you forget. See, this is a stereotypical thing straight
That's
away. You
right.
forget that animals are people too.
Yeah,
Animals' lives matter, but
Yeah.
not penguins.
that's right. Fuck penguins.
Fuck them, straight up the butt.
Make me a fucking polar bear in my next life. I'm eating me a penguin.
You show me a penguin, I'll show you an animal that cannot do its basic function. Flap, flap, don't go up.
I mean, to be
It's
fair.
like so basic, you know.
Yeah. Also,
like a f-
penguins nowhere near
It'd be
polar
like a
bears.
fly walking.
Yeah.
Saying that, I don't know what I don't call a snake, like a crawl, a rub. What would you call that? Like a, what's that motion called? A sliver? Let's call it
Yeah.
a sliver rather than a snake.
Yes. Snaky slither.
Anyway, on to less important.
Let's do it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Since 2018, actually, wait, before I do that, I am going to just make a quick note so that I know for the thingy. Where can I do that? Actually, I'll do that right here. What do you feel like Amazon's going to be like? What do you know, just on the
What do I think Amazon's going to be like?
what do you think this kind of stuff's going to cover? You know, what do you think we're going to see in this? Just
I
what
mean,
make-
probably people getting crushed, people falling off of things, people having things fall on them.
you know what? It's really actually not that much that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's actually not. That would be better.
Oh.
I think, actually. Definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is some of that stuff too,
Mm.
for different reasons. But, you know, you get that in all warehouses to a point, you know. That's always going to happen. That's not the issue so much. Right, so since 2018, and before, to be honest, but mainly, countless Amazon workers have been killed on the job. Countless not just because the death toll is so high, but because there is also evidence to suggest that many incidents have been covered up and withheld from the public eye.
Oh, what a surprise. A big company pretending like accidents don't happen.
But they don't. What are you on about? Amazon bought one-day shipping to more than 10,000 cities in 2018, and since then Amazon has been put on the Dirty Dozen list as one of the most dangerous employers in the United States.
Holy shit.
Top 12 employers, and they're not number 12 either. Don't know what they are, but they're not number 12. The company has repeatedly ignored safety standards and has used questionable policies to create a dystopian workplace to control its employees through panic and anxiety, often forcing them to work through injuries, extreme heat, and even a motherfucking tornado.
Oh, I saw that one.
Oh, we'll see it more in a bit. Now, let's get specific and have a look at some of the deaths that have been reported over the years and some of the other stuff all around it. It's just some whizzly dizzlies. I'm sure none of that really surprised you there. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise you. That, you know, it's more so, you know, it's not even really surprising stuff. It's just hearing so many different instances of it, and some of them are just like, so what the hell?
And the fact is, this isn't just Amazon.
Well, this is.
This is, but be aware, this is like any company gets big enough, they'll start doing this shit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because after you get to a point where
Carry on for a second. I'm just gonna
there's
grab my drink and
so
let
many
that
different divisions and so many different heads of departments and so many this and that and the other and this and that and the other and that and that and that and that. The chain of command and the chain of fucking, like, control becomes so much harder to like understand and to prevent issues happening. But the company doesn't want to lose money, and the company doesn't want to seem like a dangerous place to live. So things get fudged. Because it just takes one person thinking it's okay to fudge something for things to change. And I don't know, man. I don't think it's every company in the world, but I think the larger a company becomes, the more likely it is that you're going to have people who are willing to do that kind of stuff in it. That's right.
I've got another drink around somewhere. I don't know where it's gone.
No,
but
no.
I'll find it some other date. Well, a date later today, but I've got some Amber for now, which is always good enough in any situation. It wouldn't help these people, I'm not going to lie. It wouldn't help Ronald Smith, for example. It helps me, but not Ronald Smith. It was 2018 and Ronald Smith was fulfilling Amazon packages in a distribution warehouse in New Jersey and the conveyor belt jammed. According to the lawsuit from the family, Amazon demanded Herculean production, quote unquote, because of this and to avoid a slowdown to get the conveyor going again. Ronald tried to clear it quickly himself, but his arm got caught, and according to the complaint from his family, first, I don't get this, but nah, first he was pulled through a gap less than 6 inches wide, and then fell 15 to 18 foot, landing head first on the concrete.
Oh, God.
I mean, I say head first, but I don't know, after going through 6 inches, I mean, I don't know what.
Well, you're gonna have your head crushed.
Yeah. So he died from like multiple blunt force impact. I reckon he was
Yeah.
probably dead way before.
I mean, he was at
hitting the
least
ground.
unconscious before he hit
Yeah,
the ground.
yeah. I reckon he must have been.
Yeah.
And then let's move on to some of the key factors kind of around it, and with some other stories too. And we'll start noticing like trends as we go on, you know, especially around the policies and the atmosphere they create, you know, and then how some of the other stuff kind of is affected by that. So it's kind of like, you know, a flow of some of the crap that they have. This is because it's hard to be honest. We're such a giant company, so much stuff. We're going for a while as well. Like 2018, you know, they started getting even bigger, so stuff was even more manic then. Because that's when they started not getting bigger, so they started like offering next day delivery to so many more places. Like, you know, I can't remember when it was here, but in America more than. I feel like we might have had it before over here. I don't know though.
America definitely had for like 1 day delivery first, but
How many though? Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's I imagine it'd be easier for England and America just 'cause we're smaller. You can get it to everyone like
once
easier.
you've got it started one place in the UK, you can basically do it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. And they use like they outsource as well to like third you know, like third party kind of delivery companies.
yeah.
Sometimes like some of them it's their only client is Amazon, which means that they kind of start taking on the Amazon way of thinking
Yeah,
without even realising it. So heart attacks. There's also the worker who died at the end of November 2021. He had approached HR and said, "I'm not feeling so well, can I please go home?" But he was denied because he had no authorised time off that he could take, and this is referred to as unpaid time off, or UTO. And just explain that
Jesus Christ.
a bit. UTO, which builds up the more you work, is what employees must use if they want to go home early, take a day off for any reason, or if they're late for a shift, then it gets taken out of it. But even if you're just 5 minutes late, then it can be recorded as an entire hour of UTO lost. I'm sure we call it something else. I think we just call it like, you know, unpaid sick, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, different companies do also
In
have
the
different
UK,
things.
like some companies just don't have sick days at all. If you don't turn up, you don't get paid.
This is essentially what they have, is just they kind of build up, like, because I think there's a certain level of, like, I reckon some of the policies would change, you know, depending on the country and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But
They
have
literally
their,
give out the bare minimum they can.
but at the same time, though, we all see, though, they don't follow any of the rules they're supposed to follow anyway, so this is probably moot anyway.
Right.
So, but back to that worker mentioned a moment ago then, that had
Yeah.
gone to HR for chest pains. The worker who was feeling too unwell to work, he had no UTO left that he could take, so it was either go back to work or be fired. Unfortunately, he was later found dead from a heart attack in a delivery truck in his delivery truck trailer.
Jesus Christ.
Those who were upset by witnessing the death of their friend were told to go back to work rather than being allowed to go home or even take a moment's break to mourn, which is another common theme you'll see through this. They just don't care about people. People be sheep. People be the sheeple, and they don't mind being deceitful.
This is the reason why they want robots to work so fucking quickly, is because they can treat the robots like absolute shit and no one will say anything.
This is one way that they've got around some of the stuff like now, like in modern times, they've been replaced, kept their safety records up or not, they're replacing more and more with robots.
Yeah. What a fucking surprise.
But they're also just straight up, obviously, just fudging all their records as well.
Yeah.
They don't report most of the stuff. Like, we'll see examples of this going forward, but...
Again, I think it happens, if a company gets big enough, there are inevitably going to be people who are like bad actors and people who are willing to hide shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the more common that becomes, the more people there are, the more common it becomes again and again and again and again. And it just sort of cascades into this thing where the company's policies don't match what the company are actually doing in any way, shape or form.
And when a company really gets big enough that they can have sway on other people, then they start getting other companies that are supposed to govern them on side.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, they're so shady, Amazon.
And like once a company gets so big as well that they can just hand out millions and millions of dollars to a fucking their chosen like governmental representative, like they can in America. Like lobbying in the UK is technically illegal. If you ask for something by giving money, like politically, if you want them to push through a legislation or something, and you give them money for their campaign, in the UK that's illegal.
To be honest though, he's kind of one of those levels of people that it's kind of the other way for him. He's more the one that's paid, because of his level of influence. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be paying somebody for... I think I know. I kind of confused myself then a little bit, to be honest, but I know what I meant. The people knew too. The people have learned to speak to me when I can't speak to me.
People have learned to speak to
Exactly. Yep. Lack of respect.
Lack of respect.
A 61-year-old man on December 27, 2022 collapsed from a heart attack on an Amazon warehouse floor.
Oh my God.
According to witnesses, cardboard bins were used to cordon off the area so people wouldn't be able to see the dead body, and the warehouse went on business as usual like nothing had happened.
It's almost as if having people who are elderly being forced to do incredibly hard jobs physically isn't necessarily in their best interests. What a surprise that turns out to be.
Yeah, like you have the normal kind of levels in other jobs as well, but the levels, I thought the levels of stress and that, of the constantness of working on a dial in a call center, it is like a robot. It's horrible, man. I swear, it damaged me a bit in some manner doing it for so long. Like, I really do.
I think it's. I
definitely got PTSD. I hate phone calls now.
Yeah, my.
How many times are you supposed to be on the phone,
mate? Honestly, this job has made me despise so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time the phone rings, I'm like, oh.
This stories here might actually start making you appreciate your
my job,
bit. I know you might not see it now. I understand, but it might do.
Go ahead.
But I do want to show you something else right now. Let's make a quick note. What's this? I wanted to ask you something because I know you also, Amanda, is also a bit learned. So I wanted to take a quick moment out because I had a situation last night.
A
situation at a food situation. I told you about a very nice Indian that I ordered last night. Now, I don't mean the hot, attractive lady.
No.
I mean before that when I gorged myself on Indian food.
Yes.
You got to do the two together. You gorge yourself on Indian food and you gorge an Indian. That's how you do it, baby.
That's right on the edge.
What? Nothing wrong with that.
It's very colonial of you, sir.
Thank you very much. I try to include all people.
Mm.
I don't believe punching down exists because I think everybody is important as everybody else.
Everybody's as equal as everyone.
Exactly. So if I insult you, it means I love you.
Yeah.
But also, if I insult you, it might mean I hate you.
It's
Who knows?
it's a lovely little game.
It is. It is. But I need to ask you a question though. So I ordered
Right.
this Indian. It was very nice. It had the usual stuff, and it had a few little free bits with it. You know, I got
Ooh.
the. I told you earlier, got the chicken tikka masala,
Chicken
the
tikka
pilau rice,
masala.
onion bhajis, sort of buy one get one free. And I was like,
Mm.
I don't expect these to be very good because I didn't think I thought I might have been to the place, but I've been to a few bad ones because it was like
Oh, there's
half
so
12,
many
1
bad
a.m.
ones.
and a lot of the good ones aren't open late.
Yeah.
But this one was for some reason because it was really nice and it had like free poppadoms with it,
Nice.
salad and all that.
Yeah.
And I know something else by half eating for my food, and I was like, wait, what's that? And I don't know what it is.
All right.
And I've never ever had this in an Indian given to me. I've had so many Indians, like my ex, the kid's mum, like she was like addicted to takeaways, man.
Yeah.
Like we'd have a lot of takeaways, a lot of Indian.
But you've never seen
I've
what this
never
is.
seen this thing before.
Okay, what is it?
You tell me. Like, I mean, do you want to describe it for the listeners? You know, because obviously the listeners can't see it. I'll take it up to the
It's
camera in a
some-
second for the video watchers.
It's
I'll give you a
some kind
close-up
of
view, don't I?
ball in a liquid.
Mm-hmm. The mother smelt it, which I was surprised that she wanted to smell it. It was sweet, apparently. Feel free to pop it open and have a smell. Feel free to munch it down. I don't know.
I'm not doing that.
I have no. It looks to me like, you know, the look of it, I would look like, say, like it's in a little tub, but it's like one boiled egg, like in brine, is what it looks like.
It looks like a plum, maybe.
I think it's something soaked in something. I thought it might be like a desserty thing or something.
Yeah, I
that's
think
like
it's supposed to be a dessert.
something supposed to like cleanse the palate, even maybe. I don't. No, I wouldn't cleanse the palate though.
No.
Sweetness. But I'm like, it's chicken tikka masala, man. It's already sweet. Well, like, what? Why does it come with this?
What is it?
I don't know. I didn't know if it was a date, maybe, because I know they have dates in those
What
things.
the fuck is it?
At the same time, like, did he just give me one of his
I
testicles?
thought
by
you were going to
accident?
show me something, and I'd be like, "Oh, I know what that is." What the fuck is that?
Like, I've eaten. I know my, you know, my world foods. I don't know what the fuck this is. Maybe I should go to one of the Indians in the area and just be like, "Excuse me, what is this?" I've only got a day or two to be able to do it, really,
Yeah.
probably, depending on what it. I mean, in my town, we try a 1,000-year-old egg.
I don't know what the fuck that
I
is.
don't know.
I
We'll
do
fig-
not know what the fuck that is.
Figure it out and then I'll eat it anyway. Oh, well, I'm not touching that shit. Anyway.
That's amazing that, like, at our age, we can be given a piece of food and just be like, "I have no idea. I've got nothing."
Yeah. No label or anything, you know.
Like, they're
could
just
be
like, "Oh, they know."
definitely
We send those out all the fucking time. Everyone knows what they
I
are.
guess these little turds in floating in. Oh, I didn't show it to the camera actually. Hold on.
Oh, it does. It
Camera
does look
people.
like a little fucking sheep turd floating in piss. What is that? I'm sure it probably would have been delicious, but I don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah.
It might start growing. I don't know. It might hatch. A liquid baby.
Oh, like those little fucking aliens you used to be able to get when you were a kid.
Yeah, they were awesome. I used to properly believe that, you know, I could make the I swear some had like a baby that hatched at the back of them.
I don't know.
I swear I had that sometimes, like little ones that were in them. And you made me think you could like hatch them if you look after them or something.
And just
I
make
know that-
more and more and more.
Like those sea monkeys you used to get, you know.
Yeah.
I never understood them. I know now I
Fucking
know
sea monkeys.
they're like some kind of shrimp.
It's, yeah,
plankton
it's just
shit.
literally like a brine shrimp.
Yeah, brine shrimp.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. But they're awesome though.
Yeah.
They're like ants in the water.
They
I
are.
love ants.
Yeah, ants are so fucking cool.
They're the coolest animals in the world. Of course they're cool. Like you come across like a swarm of ants that is like you can hear coming through the forest.
There are,
That's
yeah.
scary as shit.
There are ants that will hunt. There are ants that will farm. There are
Yep.
ants that literally have like
cemeteries.
yeah, they grow something in the ants' area that is then digested by another thing that the ants keep there as well, that then the ants can eat.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? They're farming. They're
Farming
literally
to feed
farming.
something.
It's so fucking crazy, guys. Oh,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Told ya. They're going to take over the world one day.
Well,
Or they already
they
have.
don't even need to. They
Yeah,
already
they already have.
they already have. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't stop an ant.
Yeah, we think that
Well, you
we're
can stop
letting them
an
live.
ant. You won't stop all the ants.
Yeah, an ant. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
a couple of 100.
For
or
every
couple.
ant's nest you kill, there's hundreds of thousands of ants' nest out there that we
Um,
have no
yeah.
idea where they are.
I thought it was something like silly, like in each garden there's like more ants than there are people in the world, you know.
Fucking probably wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, so March 2019, back to this for you. 60-year-old picker called Joe Bowman went into cardiac arrest. And fucking
All right, Jonathan Ross.
that
Yeah.
was it. On a 911 call, a manager can actually be heard telling another worker to get back to work.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There were also multiple accounts of current and ex-workers on Reddit talking about the exact same thing on multiple threads, such as, quote, someone died at my fulfillment centre and work didn't stop, they just moved people from the area, unquote. Quote, someone died at mine and they just put a slippery floor sign next to the body, unquote.
Holy shit.
Quote, yep, that's what they did at my location too, unquote.
Like it's a fucking bit of, like, performance art.
Maybe that's what they want people to think.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what all of this is. They're just trying to fuck with people. Jeff Bezos is a
Fucking
real,
hell. That's
motherfucker.
so fucking dark. Just putting a fucking sign down like he's a spillage. Fuck.
I mean, he kind of is, I guess, in that case.
That's so dark.
What would be even worse than them doing that, though? Than them just disrespecting the bodies, is if they were, directly, or if their company policies were directly the cause of the deaths.
Right.
In the same warehouse as that previous 911 call, where they told him to go up the call, another death occurred a few months later in September 2019,
Right.
when 48-year-old Billy Foster checked into the warehouse's medical clinic Amcare. These facilities are staffed by on-site medical representatives or OMRs who are supposed to be trained EMTs. They're like their in-house medics.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be anyway. Billy came to them complaining of headaches and chest pains, which is something that you should never ignore or just, brush off or anything, especially a medic should know that.
Yeah.
But they checked his blood pressure and said he was dehydrated, gave him beverages to drink and sent him back to work. But a week later, while on the job, he suffered a heart attack and got to the hospital and was pronounced dead on arrival.
Fucking hell.
And this is another, that's weird what I typed there. This is another common theme here. According to employees, Amcare are less concerned about your health and more concerned on giving employees a quick, clean bill of health so you can get right back to work.
Yeah.
Even if the injury or symptoms are severe, like the guy who hurt his foot on the job and Amazon told him to take an aspirin and get back to work. And when he complained of the pain, they told him, Spain's hurt. He asked to leave early but was told he would have to come out of his unpaid time that he'd built up, so he worked through the rest of the 12-hour shift. Went hospital 2 days later to learn that he'd broken his foot. Didn't get any additional money or anything at all.
Jesus.
It's much worse than that, though. CNBC expose. CNBC, sorry, did an expose on Amazon. There's all this stuff, basically. Bobby Gosser wasn't... Gosser? It seems like I'm speeding through some of this, just because there is a lot of things, Bobby Gusser was an Amazon warehouse employee. He spoke with CNBC for an expose on Amazon's injury rates. He described how one day the conveyor belt broke and led to a pile up of boxes that looked like a tornado had gone through the warehouse.
Jesus.
And it took more than 4 hours to clear, as his managers told him to go faster and faster. They wanted to get it done. He didn't do anything supposed to, obviously. Which would be like accident reports and all these things. None of that shit.
No.
Of course. But because of all the twisting and bending and doing it at a rapid pace, he got like a sudden pain in his back. When he told his manager, the manager tried to downplay it by saying he would take a lot of paperwork to fill out for an accident form, and he just.
So that's not important then. It's only part of your fucking job, mate.
To be fair though, the worker apparently, agreed, had an Advil, put ice on it, and got back to work. Well, obviously knew he had no choice. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But by the end of the day, Bobby couldn't move his right arm, and he woke up with excruciating pain the next day. Bobby went to his hospital, and he'd herniated the disc.
Oh.
And obviously done a lot more damage carrying on and all that shit. He had to wear a brace and have surgery to get a plate and 4 screws surgically inserted into his neck.
Oh.
Which, from what I know from wrestling of neck injuries, that is not a normal thing you have to do with it.
It's not good.
You think at the very least they'd have great medical care when something happened, to
Yeah.
cover them. But they just obviously don't even care.
No, they don't give a fuck.
It's like they almost know, though, that most people won't look past the headline.
Yeah.
Because we see later on, a lot of the stuff they're doing is just to avoid headlines.
Right.
In 2021, the Strategic Organising Centre, a coalition of labour unions, released a report about Amazon's epidemic of workplace injuries. They found that compared to Walmart warehouses, which is a company equal to them in size and scope apparently, Amazon had more than twice the amount of injuries each year between 2017 and 2020.
Jesus Christ. And Walmart aren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
It's worse though. Bernie Sanders launched an investigation in 2023 and found that... everyone likes him, man. I don't know what...
I like Bernie.
I don't really know much into it. They found that Amazon's injuries were 30% more than the industry average.
Mm-hmm.
In the Strategic Organising Centre report from 2024, 37% of the Amazon workers claimed management pressed them to work before they felt ready to do so. And when compared to injured workers at other warehouses, injured Amazon workers take 52% less time off to heal.
Jesus Christ.
No. You're getting it wrong.
Right.
What this is telling me is that they are giving them super soldier serum.
Right, so they can just heal twice as fast.
Yeah, and get their work done.
Yeah.
That's what I think people aren't understanding. That's what's going on here.
I think you're right. I think it's just that working for Amazon alone makes you superhuman.
Yeah, I think it's in the lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, what I tell you?
Yeah, those people didn't have heart attacks. They ascended to a new plane of existence.
Yeah. They evolved.
Yeah.
They're now the AI that controls
That's
everyone.
it. Yeah, they are
I
now
haven't got
part.
to that yet. But
They're the spirit of the machines.
Sound like a good porno, that does.
The spirit of the machines.
Yeah, my man, you want to see the spirit that machines get when they get down and dirty. And they literally leak spirit as well.
Yeah.
I have a good question about a party that I was invited to, actually. It was one of them ones where, they're transitioning and they want to announce, like, the new gender and all of that stuff.
Right.
I was looking at the invitation, I was confused, though. Who's supposed to drink the gender fluid? It didn't work. I need to figure out.
Gender fluid.
There's a joke in there.
Who's gonna
Drinking
drink
the gender fluid. There's a joke in there. I gotta find it still. Shut up.
I'm trying to think of it.
Don't you be thinking of my joke.
I'm gonna give it to you.
I don't want your brain.
Don't want my brain
I like
leavings.
your brain and all, but you keep your brain.
Yeah,
to
keep your
yourself.
brain leavings.
Yeah, we'll have a gender fluid off. We'll both use this and figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when we realised, nobody drinks a gender fluid, we'll be like, that's why we couldn't get the
I
gender fluid
did
off.
think of one joke that I thought was okay.
You missed my joke then.
Oh
you took
shit! Sorry.
Ah.
I did think of one joke that was good for lesbians. It's like the only difference between a
Tell
lesbian
you what's
breakup.
a joke for lesbians is that they don't like cock, but then they use toys shaped like cock. That's a joke.
No, the only difference between anyone else's breakup and a lesbian breakup is in a lesbian breakup, one of them has to listen to Taylor Swift, and the other one has to listen to Pink. That's the only difference.
That was interesting the day when I learned Pink had a porno.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
What?
You don't know that?
No.
Lesbian porno?
What?
Yeah, some black girl. I have no idea who she's with. Full on porno, yeah. Well, you know what you've got. Your entertainment for tonight.
I don't know if I really want to watch it.
You gotta check it out for
I mean,
curiosity.
I'm not gonna crank to it. I don't think. I'll check it out.
Everybody says that, and then you put porn on. It's like, well, You're not watching it for entertainment value alone.
Yeah, but do I want to give it the finish?
Well, that's what you got to see when you get to it, and you don't know. People prejudge porn too much. They're like, oh no, like you wait until you get onto it, and then you say how you feel.
Yeah, you never know.
The mind is not open otherwise.
I always try it.
Try it before you buy it.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
yeah.
I'm the only one that ever said it.
If I'm scrolling through Pornhub and I see something that's interesting, I'm like, yeah, I'll see. I'll see.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, yeah, it's not for me.
And then you're like, oh, I like that. I'm going to stop watching the free porn, and I'm going to go and subscribe to a channel where I have to pay for it to support them.
No one ever says that.
Yeah, I know.
No one.
I'm trying to hope that if we say you do it for porn, then people will be like, oh, we'll do it for this. I mean, we haven't asked them to, and we haven't got it set up at all, and probably wouldn't be bothered to.
No, but
you know,
yeah.
if everyone was like, oh, I really want to pay a load of money to you, I'd be like, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
then.
all right, maybe. Yeah, let us know.
I got an itchy nose then. I got a hair on this. Anyway.
Right.
What are the policy issues then? And Jeff Lockhart Jr. Amcare and Amazon policies as a whole could be to blame for a large number of injuries and deaths. Don't believe it? Well, what if I told you workers at Amazon warehouses all over the world, UK too, specifically UK, what if I told you that workers were specifically banned from calling an ambulance?
What?
You'd say that's crazy. Craziness. It actually stated right on an internal document when you're trained up and all that shit. And I think, I think they all get it too, the managers and everything. The managers and the ones below, I mean, obviously the managers get it, but it actually stated on the internal document that employees are not allowed to call 911. I read it somewhere else, but it's like in red thingy underlined with exclamation marks.
Jesus Christ.
On January 18th, 2013, Jeff Lockhart Jr. was a temporary worker for the Chester, Virginia Amazon Fulfillment Center who had collapsed during his night shift. Amazon's internal report marked him as a consistently high performer. He was known for moving quickly up and down the aisles of the 18 football field-sized warehouses. That's crazy. I was trying to find pictures of them. It's weird how hard it was to actually find pictures that I could use.
Yeah.
That I could download properly in the format.
I mean,
I
probably
could've
the
got
best
them
way
on-
to do it would have been like Google
Like
Maps.
I meant the inside.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I got a few pictures of the outside, one in particular.
I mean, there's probably a reason why you don't get to see the inside that much.
Yeah, you see them, but it's like, it was just on, all the files were just in annoying formats. I could have gone on Photoshop and done it that way and got around it, but I couldn't be bothered, to be honest with you. Because they all look like exactly what you'd imagine they look like. Actually, I think I do actually have, I forgot I had pictures, you know. I do have an image, actually, of at least one, I'm sure I do. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, that's one.
Oh,
right there.
fuck off.
That was in no way one of the bigger ones I found at all. Like, there could be, like, double that behind for all we know. It's just...
That's
it's
crazy.
It's like the epitome of that, I think we mentioned the other day, of the Indiana Jones, that warehouse, the giant one.
Yeah.
That's like 18...
Somewhere in there is the
pitches.
Ark of the Covenant. They're just waiting for someone to want to have it shipped to them.
And the crazy part is as well, these are all over the world. Like, we have bunches of them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. Well, it turns out, I'll get to it in a minute, but we are pretty much, well, we seem to be blamed as the reason, or the UK Amazon warehouses, for
Right.
why they do this not calling in the ambulance things.
Right.
Like I said, avoid headlines, but so
Yeah, I'd still fucking call an ambulance, though. Fuck 'em.
some people, like,
Fuck
don't get
them.
wrong, there's stories here later on, like, I think I've missed some of them out,
Yeah.
about, like, where, like, they did call ambulance eventually, it was like 9 minutes after, they're debating stuff for 9 minutes, see what they could do. But there's other reasons for
Are you going to turn the thing on?
Oh yeah, good reminding there, good reminding in. We love Amazon, Amazon. We love Amazon, Amazon, our global leader. Our global leader. We love Amazon, Amazon, Zon, Amazon, Zon.
Little Intermission.
To
Lovely.
people listening then are like, what the fuck's going on here?
It's just a big Amazon logo fucking singing about itself.
Who was that? Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Did you think? Oh, I thought you thought that was me then.
No, I'm not crazy.
Oh, it's good.
Why would you sing a song like that?
I mean, why would anyone?
Yeah.
But you know, it happened.
An Amazon logo would.
An Amazon logo would you,
Yeah.
right? And I think you'd like it. When I put in that Amazon logo person, he had a big sexual voice, and I reckon they've got a really big dick.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, probably not, to be honest. Oh yeah, I was on here, wasn't I? Right then. So, where did they get to? Giant warehouses. Because of his speed and his size at 6'3" and 300 pounds, he earned his nickname Tornado before he got the job. Before he got the job in November. Oh, he had been jobless for a few months, sorry, and desperately needed a way to support his family of 3 children. Because of the long hours he had been putting in, and his family were going to meet him after a shift for breakfast because they don't get to see him much. He's been doing loads of work. Like I said, he's running around everywhere doing all this shit.
Yeah.
Fast worker, man. He's doing that shit. Unfortunately, he would never make the breakfast because around 2:30 a.m. he was found unconscious by an employee on the 3rd floor in an aisle under shelves of heating pads and Tupperware.
Oh, God.
The employee didn't call 911 as this is the procedure according to Amazon brochures. They literally state in the event of a medical emergency, contact security, do not call 911 in red underlined and with an exclamation mark.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm. It goes on to state the security.
Delaying the fucking response to someone being injured could kill them.
Well, yeah, totally.
Literally, 15...
Pretty much, we are reading a few stories here of exactly that happening.
Even 3 minutes, 5 minutes can be the difference between life and death, literally.
Yeah,
and they are deliberately delaying it. That is disgusting.
Yeah, literally are fully delaying it.
Yeah.
It's coming up in a minute. I don't want to say security will provide emergency. Oh yeah, so it goes on to state that security and/or AmCare will provide emergency response, which goes against standard CPR protocol. The first steps, as one of the first steps before doing CPR, is to call 911.
Yep.
Because as Dr. Mike on YouTube says, you're not actually saving someone's life by doing CPR. You're buying them time, so delaying the ambulance by even a second is extremely dangerous, as you just said. But when AmCare is faced with an emergency, they may not be able to handle it as many of them are EMTs as advertised. But unlike the brochure might imply, they're actually limited in what they can do.
Well, they don't have blood on standby. They don't have a load of drugs on standby. They don't have the fucking the kit that is in a fucking ambulance.
I mean, they do. You know, it's Amazon. They could afford some kit and stuff. You know,
but they don't.
One AmCare worker described it like this: by quote, by law, because we lack a medical director, we are not allowed to operate at a licensed EMT level or higher, and are instead restricted to first aid only.
Jesus.
So it's people who may be able to do the stuff, but they're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to, and they don't have the equipment to do so.
Well, another AmCare worker explained, quote, one of the tricky parts of us is not having great diagnostic tools. Even our blood pressure cuffs are the cheap automatic ones, and I'm not even sure if the pressure dial is accurate. I don't even have access to a bag valve mask or Narcan.
Yeah, so they've got
NAFL.
They've got fucking nothing they need.
And there was something we mentioned earlier about them checking the blood pressure of the one guy who had chest pains, and they were like, oh yeah, it's fine, you're good.
Yeah, because they're using a shitty fucking off the fucking... They've probably literally bought it from them themselves.
From themselves, yeah.
The cheapest one they could in the Amazon Basics.
You probably fucking bang on right there. That's fucking great,
It's
actually.
fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
See, I'm lucky that I'm reading this now for like the 3rd time, essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm already a bit desensitized. I can take about it a bit more, you know.
Fuck me.
When I first read this stuff...
Evil bastards.
Yeah, I was shocked, man, that all this stuff... Like, we haven't gotten to, like, the worst part.
No. I'm sure we
haven't.
haven't.
Some of the worst instances, at least, anyway.
Shit. Fuck.
I don't know what Narcan is, by the way, either, or bag
I think it's a drug of some kind, basically.
A UK Amazon employee, whoop whoop, named Mary, spoke to the Tribune about how the real reason they are discouraged to call 999, as I wanted to say earlier, but I was like, I know that it's coming up soon, so I'll wait for the proper quote. Is the reason they are discouraged to call 999 or 911, whatever, is because they don't really want ambulances to come on site. Sometimes they will offer to pay for the taxi, but they started doing it after there was something in the papers about Amazon calling too many ambulances to their site. Too many ambulances being seen.
Jesus Christ.
Likely referring to when The Guardian reported in 2018 that during the span of 3 years, UK Amazon warehouses called 600 ambulances.
Holy fuck, guys. Jesus Christ. And their response to that is not, well, let's make it safer in here. It's, well, let's stop calling ambulances then. That is just insane.
Well, I think I would also argue as well, because a lot of the stuff is not accidents per se in the place.
Yeah.
It's like, like for example, Mary explained about how a colleague of her had signs of a stroke. She called her doctor and said she would need to go to the hospital. The colleague told Amcare, and they said they wouldn't call an ambulance, and she would have to go on her own to keep their ambulance numbers down.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
So they didn't tell her that, they just told her she would have to go on her own.
Why would you delay someone getting urgent medical care if it's needed unless you're legitimately a soulless sociopath?
I think it's answered your own question.
It's the only fucking way that...
And it's almost like everybody's kind of warped into this frame of mind as well. Or they weed out the people that don't think like it, because so many people leave within the first year, 2 years.
Because it's fucking vile.
Like, I don't know what it's like in America, but like you need to be working somewhere for 2 years before you can even attempt to do like wrongful dismissal or
anything like that. Yeah.
Which
was
we'll see
ridiculous.
later on. They've got everyone in their pocket anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Long story
And
short,
you do not
nobody
want to
gets a
fight
payout.
Amazon lawyers.
Nobody here that I'm talking about, or going to talk about, is getting a payout.
No. Amazon lawyers. They've got the best lawyers on tap all day.
And they also, because of, like I said, the main reason that they all kind of die is like there's a lot of like certain different stuff. It's like it's hard to say it was definitely caused by them. It's a lot of stress stuff almost, because it's heart stuff.
Yeah, but again, that's the thing. It's like we are in a position now where it wouldn't have been this way back in the 90s or even like the early 2000s. If someone was elderly, they were like 60 or 70, they'd have if they were still working, they'd have a relatively easy job of some kind.
Yeah.
But now we're at a stage where every good job is basically either taken or is, very specific to needing certain sets of skills that elderly people don't have, like computers and shit like that, because everything involves computers now.
Yeah.
And it means that this means a load of elderly people who have had their retirement age put back again and again and again, and they've just seen it getting pushed further and further and further, are having to work harder and harder later and later into their lives, and their bodies are not capable of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, at least now that I will say that a lot of the older people getting like to retirement age now are a lot more computer literate for basic stuff. But I mean, just anyway,
but
the fact that retirement's so
that's
old,
still just basic stuff
messed
though.
up.
And also there's this weird thing that's been happening where like our generation and the generation before us had to use computers. They had to.
Yeah.
And so we all know how to use computers. But the generation before that generation, the older generation, didn't have to, and they struggle with computers. But it turns out the generation younger than us also struggle with computers because they don't use computers, they use smartphones and they use tablets and things like that. And a standard desktop is not the same thing, and learning how to navigate a desktop is a different thing because you've got all these different types of stuff to do.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There are kids who are like...
I think they're a lot more computer literate and able to transfer the skills anyway. Though.
True, but
nothing compared
you
to
can
the old
definitely
people.
learn easier when you're a kid. But there are kids who are sort of halfway through school who don't know how to use a mouse properly.
But to be
And
fair,
that's
though,
crazy to me, because when I was a kid, like, that was one thing that everyone wanted to do, was, like, play stupid Flash games with their mouse
yeah,
and
but
stuff.
you know what though? I mean, I think it's just we're looking at that from an old person's point of view, because we're looking at like these people aren't using the right technology. It looks to me like technology's going more and more, especially in education,
Yeah.
where tablets is the main thing they use.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my kids, like I've seen in like all their in a few of the schools they went to when they were younger, like there's a couple of different schools they went to.
I mean, by the time those kids
and
are adults as
in
well.
the older secondary school as well, so they all have tablets.
Yeah.
They all do.
By the time those kids are older as well, tablets will be as powerful as desktop PCs are
Yeah,
now
I
by
mean,
a long way.
Surely, like you could probably kind of do that now
Yeah,
to
definitely.
a point.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, by the time it might be that
like
you
that
know,
tablet screen you
everything's
had was sexy as hell.
yeah,
It
and
was, like, powerful.
it's
but
not fantastically powerful, but the screen's brilliant. Yeah,
you
and
can
it's
get
got a
some
Dolby
powerful ones,
Atmos built into it, so you can make the sound fucking like a little mini sound bar.
Imagine what it's like as well when you have the tablets, which is essentially like pieces of glass. You know,
Yeah,
put them together on a wall.
they've been working on that for ages. You know, they've been working on like a TV you can put up like a poster and roll up.
Yeah, I've seen all
That's
that. Like,
so
the
fucking
paper
rad,
stuff.
man. Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm going to start going a bit less detail into these, I think, just because I'm realising how much there is still left. I'm I'm going to start condensing these a bit, just because you're seeing the basic pattern that they don't care in the slightest. So, like, for example, it's almost like they are purposely trying to stress out their staff as a way to control them. You could argue,
Right.
you know. For example, they use a style of invasive surveillance to optimize the workforce. They have a vast camera system in the warehouse which uses AI to track their employee movements.
Oh God.
Each worker is then issued an item scanner. From the scanners, they're given a task such as retrieving an item. And when they pick the item, they scan it, and the scanner then records the time between the scans. And then once the task is done, a new task comes up straight away. And it's like the rate of how many you need to do can change daily, hourly, like just what they want. You know, to the point that you can be doing like 80 boxes an hour, which is like 45 seconds a box.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And if you count down hit 0 before you're able to scan, the scanner gives you a warning that you're taking too much time off. You can even fire you about a human involvement.
It'll just tell you you're fired.
You can just fire you.
Jesus
no human involved.
Christ.
And it's all about like building up that UTO time and that, because there are people are kind of trained to think I need to do as much as I can, to keep this time down to the point
But that's
that
it. It's a toxic work environment.
an author went into one of the workplaces. James Wharf, he did a book called Hired, 6 months undercover in low-wage Britain, and Amazon warehouses was one of the ones he did. And while he was in there, basically he found tucked in the back like bottles of piss, because people were just.
Because you don't have enough time to get to the toilet and back without being fucking warned about it.
Well, you can use it, you can do it. It goes into that OTO time, and the more you build up too much, you're fired.
That's just insane, man.
You think that stuff's insane? Honestly, man. Like, I'm going to go into the one bit straight away, just because it's one of the things that I find really interesting. I don't even need to read it forward because I got it. It's in my head, man. Like this whole bit. There was. I forget what year it was now, but it doesn't really matter. It was like within that time anyway. There was Louisiana. It was that kind of way, like down the Tornado Valley. One place where they have loads of tornadoes.
Everyone has to be a little bit aware of this story. This is the one that
I had no clue until I saw it on this.
Oh really?
Not a clue, man.
Bro.
Go ahead. Say what you remember though.
So, like, literally, there's a huge tornado warning.
Yeah.
Like,
loads of them.
Literally all over the place. It is during one of the most tumultuous years for weather on record.
I swear I heard it. I didn't write it down. I got it there somewhere if I wanted to find it, I swear they said it's normally like the average of like 20 to 40 a year, and it was something like 127 this year.
Just in that 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, wow.
And they were notoriously very powerful as well.
Yeah, this was the highest is F5.
Yeah.
Most of the ones, they had some F4s around and some F3s. F3 is still really powerful.
Oh, it'll rip a fucking house to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. As this story proves,
Well,
'cause
quite happily, yeah.
Because the first part of it is the kind of the main part of it, but some of the other parts I find more crazy.
Yeah.
With the proof just with it too, but it's like so I'm guessing you're on about like the fact that the tornado ripped through the warehouse.
Yeah. And they had plenty of warning, and they told
Mhm.
people, you're not allowed to leave, you've got to keep working.
They said it's warnings, the sirens are as well, and we'll know. And if you know all that stuff, like first of all, you should at least have people around just in case you're aware of it. But the first sign of anything in there that people were aware of it was when it was on the news, and it showed that the one coming down was going to the pathway of the
Amazon
thing,
warehouse, yeah.
and the parents of the one guy, an ex-marine, they knew he was being forced to work there still, so they called him, and they normally Amazon has like a no phone thing
Policy, yeah.
Yeah, but this was it was like around COVID time still because of that. They had phones, so they told him, he was like, oh crap, okay, I'm going to go tell people.
Yeah.
Try to sound the alarm and that, and because it's so big, they couldn't find anyone, to tell, first of all. So they were just trying to shout, but because it's so big, like we said, I think this was 8 football pitches, this one, which is still huge.
It's fucking enormous.
And just couldn't be heard because it wasn't only, having to tell people, there's a tornado coming.
Yeah.
It's also having to say where we need to shelter. And they're also trying to figure out where do we need to shelter.
Yeah.
Because they would speak to them afterwards. None of the people they spoke to, the delivery drivers outside during it or the people in the warehouse, were given any training on what to do, despite it being in
the middle of a tornado alley.
Like to the point, like even like hours before this, like people were out delivering like packages still, and people were like, "Why are you out delivering?" Like,
there's a tornado warning in effect. Go home.
There was video. I saw screenshots of messages like that showing a discussion between a worker, delivery driver out and about, and their manager. Like just all through, just being like, I'm worried. Should I not be, going to thingy or whatever, like going to hunker down, and like, no, the signs you're hearing are all just warnings still. Which they weren't at that point.
No, this was go get shelter.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
She said that she'd heard that on the news and stuff too or something. And long story short, basically, she was like really scared. And she said after a bit, you know what, for my own safety, I know Amazon haven't told us to, but for my own safety, how about I just come back to the depot anyway? And they were like, I can't say whether you can or can't come back to the depot, but I can just say if you do come back, it's not authorised and you won't be coming back to a job tomorrow. That was a specific, like, you won't be coming back to a job tomorrow.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And I was like, this is craziness. Like, shockingly though, that was probably the best thing that happened for her that she didn't go back.
Because she could have got right into the fucking path of the tornado.
But they didn't know that. That wasn't,
No, but it's just that corporate mentality of just anyone trying to get time off sick. It's because they're trying to cheat the system. Anyone who's trying to, raise safety concerns is because they're not a team player.
Yeah.
It's like there's all of this corporate bullshit talk that gets evolved out of these situations where they're saying what they want to say without fucking saying it. It's like politicians. They're all just as fucking bad as each other. They never want to actually tell you what the fucking truth is. Because if they did, it would fucking terrify you.
Or terrify them. They think it would terrify you. They don't always know, really. They just always assume everyone else, don't they?
The fact is, if you said to them, well, what would happen if there was a tornado scenario? It's like, oh, we're all a family here, so it'll be fine. They don't tell you, oh, no, actually, we'd all just say stay at your fucking desks until you die.
Yeah. But, I mean, the thing as well, though, with this, like... I mean, seeing that first, the messages of it, seeing it out like that was one thing. Yeah. But while all that was, like, messed up, like, do you know, like, the outcome then, like, with the warehouse?
No, I don't know what happened in the end, because the time I saw it, it just happened.
Yeah.
And it was on the news. And I watched that and I was like, well, that's typical fucking Amazon, and, didn't read further into it, really.
Yeah. Like just some of the pictures here, like some of the damage. It like ripped through the building.
Yeah.
I like this picture better.
Just tore it apart.
This tree went through it.
And anything in there would have been hit by a flail of Amazon fucking parcels.
Yeah,
fucking
everything after it as well was just
vegetable
everything
steamers, fucking mixers, fucking inflatable dildo partners, fucking enormous giant sofas, fucking everything you can think of is a swirling death machine inside that.
Idaho, that was it. It was some Louisiana, Idaho, or somewhere Idaho, whatever it is. So I just stick came to me then. For some reason, something you said reminded me. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
It's like what you said earlier though about it just going through like a house and that. Like it went through a fucking warehouse. But
well,
they did find out later that it wasn't built very well.
Yeah, those warehouses are designed just to stand and hold things. They aren't designed to have any forces exerted on them whatsoever.
Places like that, you think they should be though.
What you think?
But the thing is as well though, so the megaphone they needed, that they advised to use in some of these situations, you need to get messages across long distances.
Yeah.
All well and good. It was locked, they couldn't get into it. There was no one around that could do it, even though, once again, probably because all the people that had any choice about it, that had any power, were gone.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, though, that's what I was going to say earlier, sorry, was, you're saying about, like, the managers not caring and that. I'm also thinking, well, that's obviously true. Like, imagine the amount of pressure that must be being put on them to get the stuff done as well. It's a trickle down thing, and it's like,
yeah,
because like some of the people, they could have easily been people that worked in the warehouse first.
They could have been.
And they just realise that they're people that don't really care about other people either. But then they're also getting the pressure, you know what I mean? But they choose that, like, in the sense that they're still trying to keep their job, constantly worried about being fired like everyone else is as well. Like, I guarantee there must be something like that too. But at some point, it goes past the point though. Like, a manager, like, straight up the manager of them, I'm like, maybe the whole building manager or the area manager, that's where I'm more like, probably the worst one is,
Yeah.
Some of these conversations, I'm saying manager because that's what it's referred to. It might have been like area manager, I don't know.
We don't. Well, this is the thing. We don't know their structure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
So it's a complete moot point actually. Yeah, because we don't know the structure anyway. So I'm kind of chatting poop there because it doesn't matter. But yeah, either way, we know there's some dicks. So the megaphone wasn't working. So they the majority of them seemed to know where to go or something, or somebody knew somewhere, I guess, in the end, because they all went to the north bathroom, I think it was, which is the one that's more sheltered, even though it's not like got like a proper. None of them had like were trained with a plan, so I guess they just thought that was a better one to go to. The thing is though that like 7 of them, for some whatever reason, went to the south one. The south one, I can't really point it out to you anymore because it's not there.
Right.
I think it might be part of the building. Basically, there was out of the 7 of them, 1 survived. He had like his legs crushed and that, but you almost had to lose him, but he was away in the end.
Yeah.
All the other ones died, including one of them was the Marine that started, like getting people out and that. I wonder if maybe, because he seemed to like be getting people together and all that. I wonder if maybe he would have gone back to try and move them.
What the fuck is going on with the country where a fucking a veteran has to work in a fucking Amazon warehouse?
Oh, I mean,
What the fuck, man? Like, this guy clearly shows that he's got lots of skills that are quite easily transferable in lots of different ways, but he can't get a decent job.
You'd think that would give you, like, some kind of stuff to get a much better. I see what you're saying, experience-wise and that. But then you hear about them all the time, homeless on the street and shit, innit?
Yeah. But this guy's like, he's not gone homeless. He's done everything he can. He still ends up in a fucking Amazon warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucked, man. Like,
Maybe from the outside for a while they were still seen as, like, a good place to work, because you hear Amazon and it's, it's Amazon. From a consumer point of view, it's great.
Yeah.
I never think how the cookies made normally. I'm very bad at that a lot of time.
I've seen enough about Amazon being fucked over the years. Yeah. There's so many stories like this. There's so many stories where Amazon have just treated people like dirt, and like Some situations, like they've got toilets in their warehouses, but the toilets can be up to like half a mile away.
Yeah, that's
when you're
I meant
inside
to
the
mention
fucking
that
thing.
earlier when you was on about
Yeah, so it's
toilet,
like you can try and go and take a piss in like 20 minutes, but you're gonna have to sprint.
Yeah.
You know, and then some people can't fucking sprint.
No, exactly. And I don't even know how they lunge. I think a lot of them just end up having to work for the lunch when the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I know one girl was talking about for like it was either an 8-hour shift or a 12-hour shift. He had like 18 minutes time where
you could actually just relax.
with going by, like his structuring it in regards to, looking at
his amount he had to do.
the amount he had to do and that, worked out to that.
It's because the thing is, all of these fucking companies, they go, what's the minimum time someone could do this thing in? Well, that's the time that they're going to have to do it in then. It's like, but that doesn't happen in the real world. You've got multiple issues that can arise. You've got multiple different sizes of packages. You've got multiple labels. There's so many fucking things that you've got to do in that time. You can't just assume the minimum amount of time for every single package that goes through. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. It's like when I was working at Tesco's as a delivery driver.
Yeah.
They expected you to get all of these deliveries done in the time. It's like, well, that should be fine. Look at it. We've done the calculation. It should be absolutely fine. It's like, no, that's fine with no traffic, with like perfect parking, with the fucking fact that the people will be there when you fucking knock at the door and not make you wait 5 fucking minutes. Like this shit happens all the time, all over the country. They give people impossible tasks and then make them work extra hours beyond their shift to finish their fuck up. And it is ridiculous, man. It is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, with the Amazon stuff, like, there is more bits I've got, like, that I could get into and all that, but I think I might kind of leave it with that kind of stuff for now, just 'cause I want to make sure I've got a lot of your stuff, because basically the stuff that I want to double check and I'll, like, just add in, like, we will put in the next one or something, or something, or whatever, is just something around the fact that basically it was either with this, but I think it was with one of the other things that happened. I remember what it was now, actually. I remember what it was. That's cool. I remember now. That was the one bit I forgot about. There was one of the summers, I think it was 2022. It was like really hot in America.
Yeah.
Super hot. And there was like 3 people that died in a short space of time. Like 3 days or something, or 2 days.
Through heat and exhaustion.
Well.
Assume so.
Through like heat related stuff.
Yeah.
The first one was like what was the first one now? I think the first one was like a stroke or something, or heart attack, something like, it was a heart attack, something like that, which can obviously, we know, it was a heart attack, because they said that it could have been brought on by heat stroke and all that kind of stuff, because of how hot it was, really like hot.
Yeah.
The second one, I can't remember which one that was, but the third one was one where like a guy was on a ladder and he fell down and hit his head. But the important thing is though, the kind of governing body that kind of OSHA, I think it was OSHA. I'd mentioned them as something else. They're kind of like supposed to govern them and kind of OSHA. OSHA, yeah. And basically they've got them in their pocket. Like they're supposed to release the stuff that happened and everything, and only release the stuff in one of them. Some other they're like odd few unions that are around in Amazon have done Freedom of Information Acts and everything to try and get the information, but nothing's going to be there anyway, because like they purposely seem to take a long time to come and check out the room where the one guy died, until the heat wave had passed, so you would never be able to tell how hot the room was or anything, little things like that. None of them got money, but the interesting thing is, the one guy who was like kind of an agent on it, kind of that was working for OSHA, realised that something dodgy was going on, so he decided he was going to start recording the emails with his recording the phone conversations and stuff with his boss.
Right.
And eventually, she started saying to him, "Okay, now just, you know what? Decided the guy was on drugs or something. Let's just make it easy, something like that." And basically told him in the end, like, you either do it or make you resign, or something, or either resign or leave it alone.
Yeah.
And he just carried on doing it, and they even basically in the end like threatened to get him fired and stuff, and he did resign in the end. But he had like this evidence, but just nothing's come from any of it.
Yeah.
But it basically stems from the idea that what they said in it to him, essentially, was that at the time Amazon was looking to start a new kind of headquarters, whatever.
Right.
I don't know about the main one, but one of the main bases around.
Yeah.
And them, Idaho or whatever it was, I thought it was Idaho, were like one of the last 2 or 3 like front runners, and they were like basically kill this, die this down, because we don't want to piss them off and then think, oh, they're not going to come here. We want them here. It's so much money. It's big business, Chill it out, guys. Like they have kind of gone at them in the end about the tornado stuff, but they did recommend in the end though, all the stuff we talked about, they acknowledged, all the stuff they did, the fuck ups, all these things they need to really sort out, and all that. And they said, but in conclusion, we believe their punishment is they need to get these things sorted, but no fines are necessary. So no fines are necessary, no conversations.
Loads of people
definitely.
died, but fuck it,
Yeah.
let them go.
They've got nothing. No one's got anything from it. No one's got
That's
any
just-
conversation. None of the stories that I've told you, people have got conversation. The nearest was that guy that got disability payments and stuff.
Fucking bastards.
Actually, no, nearest was one of the people got some money given to them from the people that worked with him. That was the one, actually.
That is so fucking unbelievable.
And there's
man.
lots of details that I'm missing out, but I think we get the idea.
Yeah.
They
It's-
are a
it's
horrible company.
Just a horrible, horrible company.
This thing I watched pointed out, what we need to do is, like support local businesses, small companies, give, stop supporting the, it's never going to happen though.
No.
Sorry, it's just never going to happen. As soon as I said that, I'm like,
unfortunately,
you do at this point?
there's so many people who don't even think about it.
Yeah. The only thing you could do is have like a president would need to do something, but then all they would do is just move it to another country.
Yeah.
And they don't want it out the country.
No.
It's such a hard thing because
It's ridiculous. And
that is where the problem of having giant billionaire people
and
come
all
in.
of these fucking...
Maybe it should be publicly shared. Is that what it is? Maybe it should be forced when you get to a certain point.
I mean, the thing is,
don't know, it's
ultimately, a lot
awkward.
of these fucking political, heads of state, they like to think that they're cool and interesting, and they like to hang out with billionaires because they think billionaires are cool and interesting.
Glad you told me something else.
And they end up just sort of basically homogenizing their fucking thoughts with these idiots because they don't. Neither of them live in the real world anymore.
Well, on that point,
Politicians and fucking billionaires are both basically fucking aliens when it comes to the real world.
let me just give you one little factoid that I just remembered on that perfect point.
Yeah.
Is that on the day this happened with the tornado and stuff, like out of the morning, this was like in the night it happened.
Yeah.
So like by the next morning, what did Jeff Bezos tweet out?
I don't know.
Oh, condolences, I'm sorry, this is terrible. Great day with the space crew, we're getting ready for a flight, all happy faces here. We were photo them all smiling, eating
Fucking
breakfast.
Blue Origin or whatever the fuck it is. Jesus Christ.
Later on the night, he put like something out, but it's like, just the fact that it's like the people around you wouldn't think that that's something you should know instantly.
Yeah.
Even just from optics, that's how little they care. Because they know they can just get away with anything.
I can't believe how fucking stupid.
Everything about me has told me that people can just get away with this shit over and over.
They can. Because they just keep getting away with it.
You think
Over and over and over. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter, what the person on the ground does. There will always be people who have so much more money and so much more influence than us who will just be able to get what they want.
surely the government could be like, you know what, you're illegal, this is all fucked up, we need to close it down, and we can't do that though because it will destroy the economy, so we're just going to seize it from you.
Yeah, they won't do that.
I know, but,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem is that you'll end up fucking pissing off a load of other people, and then they'll all be like, "No, you can't do that," and no,
Because
you
there's so many
this,
others
and
that do
this.
it as well, like, is the thing.
Yeah, everyone's got to kind of do it at the same time. And the thing is, we're sort of at a point now where we can't really stop it. The ball's rolling now.
That's what I was saying,
You
yeah.
know?
Like, it is at a point where it's already kind of gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I generally, I was trying to think about it for a while yesterday. I don't know how you stop it now.
Yeah.
Or do you just, does it need to be stopped internally? Is that, you know what I mean? That's the real. Or is the idea with them, as I said, like, you know, their safety figures apparently the last few years have been getting better and better, but we've already seen that the figures have been fudged, you know, in the sense of, you know, they send them away in the hospital.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't
they-
believe it.
the amount of all those, like, people in the heat wave, you know, legally, like, I don't think any of them have been attributed to actually, well, none of them have actually officially died.
Yeah, because they didn't let
Because
anyone
of
fucking
Amazon.
see the fucking bodies for a week or whatever.
In the area, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, but I didn't hide bodies for a week.
Well, you know
but,
what I mean.
Yeah,
like, you know.
I mean, they could have done, though.
They
I wouldn't
could-
put any of
I
that
wouldn't
past
put it
shit.
past them to have hidden
Nah.
a couple bodies.
Not at all.
Like Boeing's done a couple deaths, you know, quite intentionally. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
put it
yeah.
past Amazon.
No, not
Like
at all.
honestly, I wouldn't.
It's interesting looking at companies. So Boeing is a good one actually to look at in
Yeah.
the future because I've heard that they've done a lot of killies.
There's been like 6 different deaths attributed directly to them almost. Well, not attributed to them, but like
Circumstantially,
suspicious that they were all about to say something about Boeing on a fucking.
very
like,
lucky for Boeing.
Oh, it's very lucky timing for Boeing. It's so fucked.
So it is
These companies
amazing
have got
timing.
to a point where they think that they're above the fucking law.
No, these companies got to a point where they're above the law.
I mean, you're not wrong actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like if
Say like,
if they weren't above the law, they wouldn't be able to get away with the shit they've gotten away with, and they are getting away with it. So
this shit's just out there, you know, like all this detail to see, but it's like if it's not officially out there,
doesn't exist.
It has say.
Sorry, doesn't exist. Oh, that thing that you thought happened doesn't exist.
That didn't happen, Mama Universe. None of that happened.
This is Amazon. Go buy things. Don't think.
I didn't realise, you know, until this thing pointed it out that the logo is Amazon with a smile from A to Z.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, yeah. Look, hold on, let me put it on actually. I got it on here. Look, Amazon with a smile from A to Z.
That's fucked.
It's so.
It's so
Oh.
easily simple. It's like, have you seen the FedEx one?
Yeah.
The FedEx
Yeah.
has got an arrow in the middle of FedEx, and you don't even see it.
No, you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like I've heard that before, but obviously I didn't see it at the time.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
mind myself now. Hold on, let's go to. Oh, we can check out that trailer you mentioned as well.
Oh yeah. All right, at the end. Why is not have a little bit of movie stuff?
Oh, I need to change that first. It's on my emails right now.
Yeah, you don't want to be showing that shit off.
Start with that.
Oh, BS.
I forget I'm going to do what. Can't do right there. Oh, it's like it got the old one and it can't keep up. It's a slow, silly Willy.
It's a silly bastard. There you go.
Silly thing.
Done.
J.
Right.
Make that smaller, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where are you? I'm touching you. Touching me. Beautiful, I know. You don't have to say it.
It's fantastic.
Smaller than that, I guess.
I'm barely above it. Am I slouching too much?
We can both are. It's just a different angle. Then maybe I'll just put it up there. You know.
Put it up there. Put it up there. Yeah, I can. Oh, okay. I got to go that way, haven't I?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot what I was putting on now. I was looking at FedEx first. Actually.
FedEx, that
That's what I
was
was looking at first. Yeah.
it.
Right, FedEx logo.
There it is.
Oh, it's a Navo. Fucking have it.
It's so easy once
Wow.
you've had it pointed out.
Yeah. It's like a proper mind fuck that one is.
Yeah.
You just keep seeing it and not seeing it.
There's a whole load of these weird things in logos.
Your whole load of weird things and logos.
We could do a whole episode on it, just like the weird shit hidden in logos.
I mean, we could, but that'd be really boring.
It would.
Especially for audio listeners.
Yeah. Look at this logo. Doesn't it look?
I mean, it depends what kind of ones though, I suppose, because some of the interesting ones, I guess, would be like you know, you go into like the conspiracy side with people say about monster, about it being like having Hebrew symbols.
Oh, yeah.
And sign of the devil and the beast and all that.
I mean, it's called Monster.
Remember what the beast, baby.
You know. I mean, there were metal
Like
bands
Omega.
from the 2000s who were more fucking dangerous than that.
The monster, I mean, I don't know. Monster's pretty fucking dangerous.
Well, yeah.
You drink, I shouldn't say that, but you know, you drink too much of that,
They'll fuck you up.
yeah, and you'll fart
Mm-hmm.
with energy. You ever farted a lot with energy?
I've never farted with energy.
Oh man, it
I've
propels you.
farted, but the energy tends to be like taking care. Oh, actually, that's a lie. No, I have farted with some serious energy before.
You do look like someone that farts with energy.
Yeah. Now I come to think of it,
Like when, yeah, like
I've forced a fart out or two.
you put your back into it.
Oh, I've done it. Yeah.
You know.
You know that pose that the chicks do when they're like pushing the arse out.
Yeah.
That's what I do when
yeah,
I'm farting.
that's the male fart pose.
Like a gorilla who's just ripping some fucking ass.
There are some people that are into farts, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I could do some deep ass farts now. I come to think of it. You know, I did a fart so loud at one point in the middle of a stairwell at university that like we talked about it for years afterwards. It literally, it was like a gun had gone off. It was fucking brilliant.
Well, that bit of they say that white people, when they get together and get drunk, they talk about all the times when they got together and get drunk. But your guys get together and talk about when you're drunk and farting.
Yeah.
Which is something that, to be fair, most of us do when we're drinking. So
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, you drink too much, you're going to be starting to get some flaps out.
It's great from being in a club, like drinking and that, you know, because you can fart and just,
Yeah.
you know, carry on the dance as you're going. I've perfected the
Fart,
walk and fart I
fart,
did. Once I learned how to
Farting,
fart,
dancing.
I've perfected that walk and that dancing fart. So it's easier because you're giving yourself some bounce, you know.
Oh, yeah.
For so long, man, when I didn't realise how to fart or what, you know, when you needed to fart or anything. I don't know why, I just didn't understand that concept, really. I remember having, like, a bloated stomach, like, so much when I was drinking in the past. I'm like, I should have just farted then.
Probably.
I didn't know what, you know, it's like...
You didn't know how to fart, though, is a crazy thing.
I did. It sounds ridiculous, but I didn't understand. The idea of it, like, just didn't really come into my head to do. I thought it was, like, just something you had to just naturally do when you, like, sit down, when you get up.
You see, that's the thing. I know loads of other people who are like, oh, yeah, you don't force a fart out. It's like, I have never not forced a fart out.
So like,
I
you
have
don't force
always...
a fart out. You're forcing a fart
no,
out.
I've always had to...
Feels like...
No, but I've had to actively fart.
I do now, yeah, you do.
I've never... Like, and other people are like, no, you just fart sometimes. No, you... That's insane.
Right, there's people who used
What
to
do you
think like
mean
me
you're
as well.
just walking around and it's just ripping when you just don't know about it? Like, I am in control of my sphincter, thank you very much, and I am detonating this right now.
Well, I suppose maybe that shows what somebody does at a certain time.
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe it's one of them. If you're, you know, a butt wrangler.
A butt wrangler.
Mm-hmm. If you...
Butt wrangler.
It's the butt that you can't deny.
Uh,
When you touch their thigh, you could touch it and they could go ouch. And if they do, then get on the couch. 'Cause they might be there, but they're not wearing clean underwear. What's that?
brown finger.
I was generally trying to remember what that song was. I couldn't fucking remember. Brown Finger, that's it. The original version of Goldfinger. And people were like, yeah, that's a bit racist, ain't it? And they were like, yeah, it was a white person with shit on their finger. What are you on about? Get your mind out the gutter.
Fucking hell.
Chat a lot of shit when I'm tired, I do.
We chat a lot of shit in general, I think.
Yeah, we do too.
I mean, there's a lot of bullshit that comes out of our mouth. Should you watch the Predator thing?
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was you. Why am I still reaching over here? Like I haven't got a
Go-
wireless mouse.
I know.
What am I doing?
Go to YouTubers.
I'll go back to the YouTubes. Hold on.
The YouTubes.
Those sexy faces.
Well,
I just
I
realised
put
people
on
looking
YouTube.
at that tiny ass screen probably couldn't have seen any of that, you know.
But
Should I just make it big?
Nah.
No?
Because then they can't be all shitty about it.
Who?
The people.
The people?
Yeah.
What people?
Those people.
Oh, but if we put it on anywhere else after,
Yeah.
I mean, them people. Yeah, I'm guessing it's Badlands.
That's the one.
I had no idea about this. It's very recent, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is brand new. I hadn't heard about it or anything.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I mean, you know, you can mute it if you want or not. It's
I didn't
absolutely
think
fine.
you survived.
You two will make this.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like.
That was weird. Actually, I'm going to watch it all the way through first and then
Yeah.
break it down.
I didn't think you survived.
Breaking down. If there were better films in the world, I would do a total like film, like current film, you know, like
Yeah.
back when I was like having my Odeon card and going to the cinema all the time. I could have done it then because I kind of tricked myself into thinking there were good films.
Yeah. I kind of want to get one of the Cineworld cards because there's a Cineworld in China.
Yeah, it is awesome. Just going on your own cinema, man. It's so cool.
Oh, I love going to cinema like that.
Some people find that so strange.
Yeah, it's like eating by yourself. I like going out and having a meal by myself in a restaurant. I don't
You're
do
hunting
that.
I
something.
don't do that.
Oh,
I
mate.
was. I'm not against it. I'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
just get it and
That
take it
can't
home.
be
Like,
killed.
because I don't like being around people. And I want to date. So
No,
I
like
choose.
sometimes when I was going out for like a gig. Oh, here we go.
Right.
So yeah, that's
Wait,
that's
That was-
basically.
that's a film?
Oh, it is a film. Shit, yeah.
Oh, in that case, that changes it, and not in a good way. So let's go back
Yeah.
to the beginning. So opening shot. Okay. I mean, first of all,
Also,
just-
look at the skull in the centre.
right. That's an alien.
Independence Day.
Oh shit! Yeah. Wow, that's weird.
That's been around on the internet all over the fucking place. It's like, are they trying to mix all three? Are they trying to have Alien versus Predator? And it turns out, like, because there's a new Aliens movie coming soon.
Aliens.
Not
versus
Aliens movie,
Predator
sorry, an Alien
Independence.
series where Aliens is on Earth.
Oh, there's an Alien series.
Yeah, yeah. Where the xenomorphs go to Earth
Right.
and start, building a hive. So, is it going to be, because of this, they're sort of teasing it, that it's going to be the Earth after Independence Day, when there's going to be a load of aliens landing on that? Because that would be an absolute clusterfuck of
Because
sci-fi.
they did get fucked up, didn't they, in Independence Day?
Yeah,
if I remember
yeah.
correctly, in Resurgence.
In Resurgence, they've just like this entire fucking thing just sort of lands on them and shit, and they've got to send it away again, and it rips like half the planet
With
apart.
more than a laptop this time.
Mm-hmm.
They have to whip out desktops, baby.
And then they have the like queen of those things or whatever, and it's a giant one running around, and I never got that.
Yeah.
I was like, why did it have to have a giant one?
Because, they didn't have Will Smith.
I said, no, it's because they can't think of anything more fucking
Yeah.
impressive or interesting than that.
I
That
remember
is
it being
such a
entertaining.
cop-out to me. Is like, there's two things I hate in movies. Is like,
AVP.
one of them, it's like, that one is just a bigger one. Oh, why is it a bigger one? It just is.
It's a big one.
It's like, fuck you, you stupid prick. And the other one that I hate is the fucking bubble fight. I refuse any fucking film that has a bubble fight in it.
Wait, what?
Right. A bubble fight happens mostly in superhero and sci-fi movies, and it happens at the end of a movie, and the villain is so powerful, he's creating a bubble of field around him, which is stopping anything from penetrating it, no matter what anyone does, and people attack it and they get forced back. And it doesn't have to be a bubble, it can be like a like
You
an
just-
energy field or
You're
something.
just talking Dragon Ball right now.
They do this shit all the time in so many things, and they're like,
fine.
"Oh, I'm just fighting the bubble. Oh, the energy bubble. Oh, I can't get through the energy bubble."
Not a
And then
bubble.
every time they beat it, it's because all the team will get together and they combine their powers and they crack through the energy bubble. It's like, take
Well-
that shit and stick it up your arse. There are about 1,000 fucking movies who do it.
Okay, well, I mean, it. Hopefully, you can have like, who are those people that join together with the rings and put them together, and they join together to like create Earth and all that. They can come and sort it out for you. I heard you say something about a team in there or something. So.
It always like the team get together and they break through the
That was
fucking
it.
barrier in some
Yeah,
kind.
there you
It's
go.
like,
Get
oh,
a team of all them people come
I
down.
just-
They'll get He-Man.
a
they'll
bubble
get-
fight is the laziest fucking ending fight you can put in a movie.
I don't know. I think the thing you
It happens.
started with.
It happens in
I
Fantastic
don't know how the
Four.
hell you got to bubble fight. Well, I swear we're talking about aliens and
Yeah,
Predator.
right. It happens
I don't
in.
know what the
It
fuck we're on
happens
about
in
now.
Fantastic Four.
We're gone wildly off somehow from
Right.
a mini trader somehow.
Doctor Doom creates a bubble around himself in
I mean,
the.
it's superheroes, man. They're always going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. He does it.
With the force
Fucking
field.
Apocalypse does it in X-Men.
The force
A
field.
different X-Men villain does it in a different X-Men movie.
You
I can't
telling
remember
me
which one.
if people were throwing cars at you and blasting things and slashing you with metal claws,
I'm not saying that.
and
I'm
you
saying,
could make a barrier around you.
I'm
you
not
wouldn't
saying
do
it
that.
doesn't make sense. I'm saying
Okay.
it's lazy storytelling.
Well, no,
Add
no,
a different thing in. Add a change to it.
But Apocalypse did that in the book.
Oh,
I mean, you talk about superhero movies. The other things, you might be right. You know, I agree with you on them. but
don't
superheroes-
be a bubble writer. Never be a bubble writer. Always
Not a
come up
bubble
with
writer,
something
bubble
more
rider.
interesting as a final fight than putting someone in
Tiny
a bubble.
bubble in the world makes me happy. Makes me something.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you. I'm putting this back on now. It's really
I
about
didn't think
bubbles.
you survived.
But that wasn't the Independence Day hat that had them.
No, that's just in the background.
It looked like.
I didn't think you survived.
Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck's going on though, because I don't know about you, but they don't look like predators to me. Any of them?
It's a CGI version of the Predator. And it
Terrible one.
doesn't-
Why?
It doesn't look right. The eyes are all wrong.
That's what I was saying when at the end when it said, you know, like that it was a film. That was when I was like, oh, that changes it.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna, you know, give.
If it's a series,
guy
it's
bit.
not so bad. But yeah, a movie, this feels a bit.
I mean, he's dreadful for them, but you know. So it looks. What is that? Is it a hybrid, maybe? Wasn't there something actually in one of the films about an alien human hybrid?
Oh, that's horrible.
Didn't that happen in the
Alien
sorry,
human.
Predator. Sorry, human.
Alien Predator hybrid happens.
No, yeah, I know. Predator human. No,
I didn't know about that.
I swear something happened. That,
Who wants to fuck a predator?
wasn't it one of them was pregnant or something? Where they popped something in them, or
Ew.
they go or AVP or one or I don't know. I feel like I'm seeing something in my head, but I don't know now.
Ew.
It wasn't like, you know, unfortunately. You didn't. And why are the glowing swords?
'Cause it's Predator.
I don't mean any. I didn't know Predator was Star Wars. I mean, this probably is a better
You're
version of
hunting
Star Wars,
something.
actually, so maybe I won't play it. Look, what? The Siths.
The thing about this
The Siths.
is it looks like it's trying to tell an action movie where the Predator isn't the bad guy. And the Predator is fighting other predators,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to just sort of follow along with this character. Now, in principle, I understand what it is you're
Are
trying
they
to
predators though? Because what is that?
do. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is that? A predator?
I don't know.
I don't recognise any of these things, man.
But he has the 3 dot thing going on his thing, so I think it's a predator.
Or is that just a predator trying to shoot him? I mean, this predator doesn't seem to have that kind of attack. And why there's like a tank in the background?
There is
look?
like a tank in the background.
Oh, what the hell?
What
Yeah.
is this fucking movie, man?
I thought this was based in the old times, and then I've seen that tank. So now I'm even more confused.
Did you ever
'cause-
watch Prey?
Yeah, I really like Prey.
Prey was fucking brilliant.
And apparently they took a hard turn away
This
from
looks different to Prey.
that. yeah. Prey was like, I don't know what's that thing that Leonardo DiCaprio is in, that bear thing. I don't know, that film.
Oh, The Revenant.
Yeah. Prey was The Revenant. This is Tron.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a really good. That is a really good way of describing it. To be honest,
I'm not expecting much at the moment.
this. I mean, it's.
Like, that's there, what the hell is happening there?
Well, he's obviously got his arm cut off and it's going green because they bleed.
Well, so
green.
is this the end of the film then, right there?
I mean, it might be. This might be spoilers in the trailer.
Or
It
they just
wouldn't be the
fucking
first fucking time.
He's got a glowy sword as well, though. If the glowy swords don't mean anything, then why are they making such a
Yeah,
point
but
of them?
this
Was everyone
could
just got a glowy sword?
literally just be the end fight at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it
And
looked
he's had
like
his
it.
arm cut off, and he's crawling towards the knife, and then he's going to turn around and he's going to flip him into like whatever that thing is in the background, which looks like it might be like a hole.
To be
into
fair,
something.
though, it doesn't look like. Remember they thing so earlier? Dreadlocks guy, him.
Yeah.
He's a lot thinner than he looks. Then he
There
gets his hair tied up.
there
His hair's tied up there.
There are two different types of.
His hair tied down there.
You know what's
So that-
ridiculous as well? There's two different types of predator.
You're hunting
Right.
something.
They're both the same species, but there's one that's bigger than the other,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah, I saw
war
that.
over each other. So it could
Maybe
well
they're
be.
just the oldest. Maybe they're just when you get older.
No,
They
no,
get
it's,
big.
it's not even older. It's literally that in the lore. It's a
Oh,
different
yeah.
species.
See,
So-
that's why the law annoys me like
Yeah.
that. Because I'm like, I don't, because that stuff isn't always acknowledged by the writers, and they will make a new film that totally destroys that stuff. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
personally don't fully. Do you know what I mean?
Also, this chick is supposedly a Wayland Yutani android.
That would make sense why Hawaii did that weird
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I'm down with that.
The same thing
I
that
like
happened
them.
in Romulus.
Yeah, I like them. I like the androids.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe
they're,
it's because
they're a
Michael
good
Fassbender
idea
did
for a
it first.
character. You know, they can take more damage than a standard human.
So for this, yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
You
you
know.
need something like that
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
actually,
around a
for this.
fucking predator.
Yeah,
But
that's a
like,
good shot. That's why they're there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually,
But I think literally what's happening at the end is like it's a fight between the normal predator, the one from the first movie, that breed of predator.
right.
That's the one that we're seeing running away from all the shit and stuff. And it's like his
I think
training.
that's the original. But he looks weird.
I
though.
think it's like his training.
get a good
No, I
view in
don't
a
think it's the
minute.
same one. I think it's just he's of the same breed as that predator. And then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
the other
so he's
breed of
one of them,
predator, the
yeah.
bigger ones who are hunting him.
Yeah, yeah.
And like that's why it's called the Badlands or something, because it's like where predators hunt other predators or something like that.
Yes, that's true. The Badlands. I assumed it was set on Earth again, just because they always seem to be.
Oh, I don't think this one's Earth.
But then that building.
Did you see
that,
those? Did you see
that
those
tank,
fucking
though?
gaseous exploding fucking plants?
It's almost like it looks. I thought it was prehistoric, you know.
Nah,
because
because
of,
Wayland's Yutani.
it's one. I thought it was prehistoric, but then everything about it. Unless they're going to another planet, it is prehistoric, or maybe they go to another planet.
Well, the predators have like hunting planets and stuff, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. It could be a planet where the big predators hunt the smaller predators,
And it just happens to be a tank.
and or the Wayland Yutani thing just happens to crash land on it.
What?
That's it.
On the tank.
No, what tank?
On the
Oh,
tank.
the
for
tank
sure.
in the background.
I'm like, what's
I
that
think
tank?
that's probably just a predator tank. Apparently they've got tanks now.
Alright. That makes sense, I guess. Some of them seem fucking more, less equipped than I've
They
ever
can't be
seen.
killed.
Weird shit then, like it seems like a predator fighting us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's the big predators.
Oh, I see.
You're
Okay.
Yeah,
hunting
yeah.
something
Right.
that
Because
can't
they're
be
like a
killed.
lot bigger than the smaller.
He looks weird. It just doesn't look good to me.
It looks so CG.
Really bad.
It looks so CG. And this is the problem, because if you are going to centre your movie around a character whose entire face has to be a predator face for the entire movie,
Yeah.
you can't make all of it CG. It looks terrible.
And if they come out saying, like, you hear them say all the time, oh, that's not the finished,
Then don't put it in the
product.
trailer.
Yeah, then why the hell are you seeing it?
Yeah, because that's going to make people go, oh, the CG shit, I'm not watching that.
Do it in the dark. Don't show his face.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
like,
man.
there's no reveal left anyway. It just just everything about it. Just to me, it doesn't even look like the same type of predator though. It just looks weird. I don't know if that's to put his head on it, though. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen one's head though. Yeah, it's got to be a weird ass planet. Actually, I didn't think about that bit at the end. Then
it's gonna be
I don't know how I feel.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't my vibe.
Yeah.
It ain't my vibe, son.
I mean, I would like to say I'll check it out because I do love that sci-fi stuff. I really do.
I love sci-fi.
But
I like good sci-fi.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I like sci-fi I haven't seen before. I like good sci-fi that I haven't seen before.
Like actual genuine IPs.
New ideas.
Yeah.
There is such a fucking lack of new ideas in movies at the moment, and it is absolutely painful. It is just every single fucking movie is a sequel or a prequel or a remake or a reboot, and I'm fucking sick of it. Give me something fucking new and make it good.
No.
Never.
You know what? The one thing I have noticed is that you get more like random films. You know, like your weird IPs. That's a word for it, isn't a phrase for it? I'm forgetting. Like your new IPs or whatever. You know, your new ideas.
Intellectual property.
Yeah, but
that's just IP.
Yeah, but just a new version of it. You know, rather than using making a book or a remake or whatever, a reboot. I've noticed a lot of like German ones on Netflix in different countries and all that kind of stuff seems to be a lot quirkier and like randomer, you know, just
because they're doing new stuff. They're not just rehashing the old shit. And
I've started watching like subtitle or like not subtitle. I always have to do the dubbing.
Yeah.
I like reading along too, but I don't like having to read because I'm missing the cool stuff going on.
Yeah. No, the thing is, everything's got. If you're making a movie now, it's got to be a franchise.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just have one movie come out and it be a good movie and move on to the next one. You've got to make a fucking series.
Thing is, that I don't know how much people really want it though, because when you have something that comes out that looks like a genuine new idea, that doesn't look like anything. Like I remember, like apparently other people look at that and, like, for example, I'm thinking in my head right now. Do you remember that Mickey 17 film?
I really wanted to see that.
Apparently, lots of people looked at that as an obvious bomb, and why would you watch it? And apparently, nobody watched it.
Oh. I just didn't watch it because I barely watch movies in the cinema at this point. I'd love to have done.
I don't get it, because that's one for me where I thought I was going to do good. That looks
yeah, that looks interesting.
People didn't even go to see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because maybe they thought they'd already had it spoiled in the trailer. Because that bothered me a bit.
I think there's more to it than just what's in the trailer, but yeah, it did feel a lot like they over explained in the trailer, almost as if they thought people were going to be stupid and not go if they didn't. And like, it was more interesting if it was just the death repeat thing.
Yeah, you should have focused on that. You didn't need to show the what goes wrong.
Yeah,
or you could have focused on that. That's cool. That alone is that's all I focused on, and that's all I needed to see. And I really liked the concept. Then the trailer kept going, and it felt like they ruined bits.
Yeah,
it was one of them where I kind of felt like wanting to pause in the middle of it.
That's all the trailers now. All trailers ruin movies now because.
Hence why we were saying about that one, and we were like, "Is this the end fight?"
Yeah, because the people who make the trailers aren't talking to the directors at all, or the writers at all. There's no communication. It's just. There's a completely different department that takes care of fucking, the trailers and shit. And they do things this way, and they have to have action shot, this shot, that shot, that shot, this shot, that shot. And we're going to pick them from anywhere we want in the movie with the most quote-unquote impactful to the audience reviews. Yeah. And then, we'll put that into the trailer. And, look, that's a high-rated trailer by our audience reviews. Let's put that out.
I see what you're saying.
It's so fucking soulless.
Yeah, it's all formula. But you think it'd be like the most basic thing that a director would want to say to them, like, don't spoil the film, though,
Don't spoil this one thing that makes the movie interesting. It's again, like loads of people said that Captain America would have been the new one, would have been way more interesting if it didn't spoil the fact that the Red Hulk's in the fucking movie.
But with that one, though, I do debate how many people would have gone to see it without that tease.
That's true. But
because
again,
you know,
what they think, they seem to think that trailers are all that matters, but actually word of mouth is what's more important.
maybe they should have just really, really slightly just teased like a finger going red or something right at the end of the trailer, just something tiny.
I mean,
to make it a little, so so you weren't even sure. Like it could have been someone else. It could have been, I don't know, Red Skull on steroids.
It's like horror movies are one of the few things at the moment that are genuinely creating new and interesting shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen Barbarian?
No.
Fuck.
Sounds familiar for some reason.
Barbarian is a dark movie, but it's really good.
Horror.
Yeah.
What's it on? Is it?
I don't know what it's on at the moment, but it's so fucking brutal, man. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to explain any of it. Just go and watch Barbarian at some point.
I'd love to say I would, but I won't. Especially if it's not on like Netflix or anything, you know.
Right, shall I just tell you what happens?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So, in Barbarian, this woman goes to Detroit and she gets an Airbnb, right?
Right.
And she goes into the Airbnb and a guy is already in the Airbnb before her.
Okay.
And it's the guy who plays It.
Okay.
Right?
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. So they're both a bit confused as to why they've both been, brought into this.
I feel like I'm what? This sounds familiar at the moment.
Yeah.
But maybe I think it's
Why they've been brought into this same place. And basically there's this
Fucking
tension going on of like...
Sorry, I'm just really having trouble trying to make Spider-Man stand up.
Yeah.
Ironically, he has terrible balance.
But like Bill Skarsgård's like constantly going like, oh, don't worry about me, everything's fine, and there's a tension in the air and obviously all that kind of shit. But then all of a sudden,
Sexual.
like they find that there's like a little door that goes down into the basement, and then behind a hidden wall in the basement there is a hidden room with basically just a full-blown rape bed on it.
Okay.
And like a bucket full of like fluids and shit next to it and stuff. Like it isn't.
Gender fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not a nice situation, and there's a camera in the corner, right?
Yeah.
So it's a proper fucking creepy place.
And then you find out it was Bill Skarsgård.
No.
Oh.
No. Then they find out that there's actually a further bit that goes down into like a series of caverns that someone's dug underneath the ground, and Bill Skarsgård gets fucking taken down by something in the dark.
Oh, okay.
And then that same something comes for the woman and pitch black, right? Anyway, zoom on a little bit, and suddenly there's someone going to this same
Zoom on.
place.
How does it zoom on? No, like, if
Like
it's dead or?
no, it's like 2 months later, right?
Oh, just does a 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
2 months
okay.
later, someone else turns up, and then fucking they end up finding the same shit because everything's just left as though it was when these other people were there. And they go down, try and figure shit out. It all gets weird, and it turns out that there's this creepy fucking dude who's been living in Detroit since like the 50s, and he's just been capturing girls and keeping them underground, and literally like having babies with them while they're chained up, and then like having sex with the fucking daughters of that, and like killing the boys, but keeping the daughters so he can fucking do shit to them as well. And like further and further down the tree, so like the thing that killed the people at the start, or killed Bill Skarsgård at the start, because it turns out the girl survived, is this fucking twisted, gross version of like his great granddaughter or whatever, who he's fucked into existence through 4 different generations of his own dick. And like this monstrous incest beast is just like playing with people like they're toys and not understanding it, and it's so fucking horrible. It's so fucking horrible.
That sounds like it took like some.
It does. It
levels,
takes such a
like
next
multiple
level.
next
yeah.
levels.
And it gets even darker from there, because like there's twists and turns and people betray people, and it's fucking dark into a horrible movie, but it's brilliant. It's such a good movie. Like you would never get that I imagine the budget, although it's probably like not insignificant, it's definitely not huge. And that is such a fucking great movie.
Better, like,
Yeah, man.
when you haven't got like, well, CGI first of all. Look what we fucking just
Yeah.
looked at right then with Predator. It's almost like they're purposely trying to fuck the studios when they do it.
Yeah.
Because prosthetics always looked better, and obviously, prosthetics with a little bit of CGI is the best way.
Yeah.
It looks great then.
Yeah.
But which is probably really cheap, and I'm guessing it's probably more along the line of what they did, or just in the dark.
Yeah.
If you can't make it look great,
Yeah.
maybe don't have it standing in the open, going, "Rah, come and get me."
Yeah, you raw.
Predator.
Look at my Play-Doh face. Oh.
Can I nick a bit of your backing?
Yeah.
You got some. Thanks. I'm gonna make myself another thing.
Congratulations.
Well, no, actually, should we finish up, actually?
Tobacutations.
And then I can maybe show you how far I got in that game as well.
The what?
And I'll show you on the room game. You got any good games that you're thinking about wanting to play or anything?
I've played a little bit of Oblivion.
Oh yeah. We tried to play Oblivion 'cause he was like, before we was here, I think he was like, oh, they brought Oblivion out now, and woo, on Xbox, all redone and that, and he was like, oh, put it on to see what it looks like. Okay, click it on, 'cause he didn't know it'd been on. That was it. You didn't realise, and
it went, oh yeah, the wait time is 5 minutes.
I have never seen that. There are too many people playing. Wait 5 minutes, which 5 minutes, don't get me wrong, that's not a long time to wait for anything.
Yeah.
But in digital world, that's a long time.
That's a fucking year in digital terms.
Yeah, but those kids are like 6 seconds is too long for shorts nowadays. Kids can't be watching 6 seconds. They're like 4 seconds, 3 seconds max.
To be fair, it is a legit good
When I say
game.
max, I mean my child.
Yeah, it is a good game. It's like so much fun just playing through it again. Like, because I played Oblivion so much when I was a kid. Like, I played through Oblivion at least 8 different times.
How old was it?
It's like it came out in 2006.
Wow.
So it's an old
It's
game.
weird because I remember like the guys playing that, like bumming up in it.
Yeah.
And that. Even though, once again, to be fair, they all kind of do mould together to me.
Yeah.
I get to put like them, Elder Scroll.
Elder Scrolls is the same. Yeah, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Morrowind.
Never heard of that one.
Morrowind is like before Oblivion, and it is a creaky fucking game at this point.
So just
like
hard
just
to play.
playing it, you're like, oh god, I can feel the pixels. It's tough, man. It's tough, and like respect to you people out there who love playing old games that are like.
You're one of them, to be fair. You play more.
I
games,
play games
way more than me.
I play
don't.
games from my childhood, and I think that's the thing is
I
like.
see.
You play games from your childhood, and anything that you were okay with in your childhood, you'll kind of be okay with for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, I grew up playing a lot of, like,
I'm not the same.
Well, I grew up playing a lot of, like, turn-based RPG games, like the Final Fantasy shit.
You mean like basic style then? Not
Yeah,
necessarily-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basic style.
I understand.
So, like, I've been playing, like, Final Fantasy games since I was, like, 8 years old?
Yeah, nipper.
Yeah, and like to me, turn-based games, I don't have a problem with it. But if you've not grown up playing turn-based games like a lot of people nowadays haven't, it is so slow for them. It's so slow and fucking boring. And if you know, even if you just didn't
Like,
play those when you were younger,
So I don't really do it a lot, but I can still go back and appreciate old wrestling.
yeah,
Other things I can't do that with, but
Right.
old wrestling, pretty much mainly from my ages. Not old, I'm talking like...
oh yeah, it's always
the
from
old-
when you were like,
Yeah.
it's nostalgia based.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I'm not talking about, like when, I don't know, before WrestleMania was a thing and Superstar Billy Graham and Bob Backlund were duking it out after Bruno Sammartino held the world title for 9 years.
yeah,
After dropping it, like for like a few months, and before that had it for like 7 years.
right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Matches were like an hour long, 2 hours long back in the day.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Doesn't the crowd get bored?
They had nothing else to do back then,
Well,
did
that's true. You're right.
they? Like,
Yeah.
they were just drunk, they were happy.
Yeah.
They thought it was real still.
Yeah.
People got so into it that, the bad guys have to be careful in the crowd because they get stabbed.
Jesus Christ.
That would happen all the time.
Fuck.
No joke, like that shit would happen a lot. People were really into it.
People
You
are
see-
idiots. That's the problem.
Yeah, back then, as well though, you had nothing telling you it wasn't real either.
Yeah,
And
it was
they
all kayfabe.
And yeah, it is indeed.
Mhm.
And they didn't fight like wrestle like they wrestle now. Now you look at it, and it's an obvious choreograph. Back then,
They used to throw each other the fuck about and hit each other with proper shit.
there would be a lot more punching and
Yeah,
kicking than
yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Like they wanted it to look like a real fight, and
Yeah.
slamming would be more impactful just because of how hard the fucking thing was.
Yeah.
And like fans could like touch the ring and stuff,
Yeah.
because that's how minimal. Before Vince
Oh.
nationalized it all was small territories,
Yeah.
more like a comedy scene and stuff.
That was a really interesting bit in the Netflix documentary.
Oh yeah.
When he was like explaining, like he started off with this little area that his dad had, and then he just started shipping it out to more places and getting more money, and then adding that back into the business and growing it more.
They still leave out a lot of stuff in that though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot of shady stuff. I can't remember if they
Of
said
course
in
he's
that
shady as
about,
fuck.
He had a hit on him actually because of that stuff. People doing that.
Yeah.
But he fucked a lot of people on purpose. Like
Oh yeah, he like deliberately went back on deals that he made specifically with people. He'd like
made a
go
deal,
to people, make a deal not to move into their place, and then just fucking move in anyway.
and because they hadn't been expecting them to, they hadn't been like building up any defences.
Yeah, so he
they were
just
weakened.
steamrolled them.
Yeah. Ruthless,
Yeah,
man.
ruthless business, man.
He's a ruthless son of a bitch.
It's like I saw a thing that was like really rich people seem to think that they've like figured out the universe, and that how they've like cheated the system, and they figured out things that no one else could have figured out. But it's no, other people could have figured it out. It's just they don't have the moral compass to do the nasty shit you're willing to do. Like
Yeah.
that's,
Like Amazon.
there's unfortunately quite a lot of the exactly like fucking Amazon, to bring it all back to our original point. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I thought you'd appreciate talking about a terrible place to work, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I considered fucking working for them at one point as I was trying to go to one of their things. So glad I didn't.
No, I wouldn't. There's certain places I will not work. I will not work in a fast food place because I just would not be able to handle the stress. And I don't want to work in an Amazon warehouse, or really maybe any warehouse, really. Just because, you're not sure until you're there whether it's a good warehouse, and a lot of them are shitty warehouses.
But it's not like you can't leave, though.
That's true.
But then again, like I said, there's also always the issue then of if you leave straight up, well, stop going. I heard somebody mention that actually. My idea, I always say about just don't quit, just stop going. you know, let them fire you and that. There's a name for that. It's like, what is it? Quit quietly. I think I heard somebody say about it.
Quiet quitting. Yeah.
Quiet quitting, yeah.
Yeah.
That just sounds exactly like what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, I think you don't even need to bother going really, but I suppose you might be able to get some extra days of work if you just go and literally stop caring.
Yeah.
But you have to do some caring though, because otherwise you will just get fired in one day. Because if you go and don't care,
Yeah.
legitimately don't care, you'll just go in there and just sit there. Most jobs, these soul cushion ones, you can't actually do that.
Yeah.
They will be on you like, do it!
Yeah.
Do it now! Piss in the bucket!
Yeah.
Piss in the bucket! Piss in the bucket!
The only way to really do it in our modern society is to just not turn up. And when they call you, go, oh, sorry, I feel really ill. And then when they call again, you're just like, oh, sorry, I still feel ill. Oh, sorry, I still feel ill. I'm so ill.
Yeah.
And they
I think
can't
my
say
ass fell
anything.
out.
Yeah. They can't do anything about it, but they can be like, well, we're going to have to terminate you because you've not been at work for 3 weeks now or whatever.
Oh no, I really wanted this job.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Oh, shucks.
well,
I'll
you've
just
been
have to
great
keep
to work
shitting.
with.
Yeah, I'll keep shitting here and I'll speak to you later.
The only way they can get you is if you start being like, once you they tell you you're going out, if you start being like, well, fuck you, your job was shit anyway.
Yeah.
I hope you fall over under a mountain. Because then that's something they might be able to possibly not openly say in a job, when people ask for a
reference.
reference. That's
Yeah,
it, yeah.
yeah.
Because they can't give you a bad reference, but they might be able to imply that kind of stuff somehow.
Yeah. And I don't know. I've basically got to shit or get off the pot at this point, because Monday is the 28th, and that's when I get paid.
Whoa! Don't shit on my.
But
Room?
Monday's the 28th, and that's
Ah.
when I get paid. And I kind of want to give them a call on Monday and be like, look, can I discuss, you know, my future with the company and shit, and just be like, you know. But at the same time, as you're right, if I tell them that and if I sort of do the standard quitting thing that you're supposed to do.
Well, nothing to stop you from just saying you're considering about whether you want to stay here, and then see if they offer you anything to try and keep you, and then just be like, okay, I'll think about it, and then just quietly quit.
Yeah. Nothing's stopping it.
No, like, you know, nothing's stopping anyone from doing anything, man. Like,
Yeah.
just, don't have to do shit, you know.
Yeah.
There's no harm to see if you can get, like, even if it's just something that keeps you there for another month at a better rate or something, or with reduced hours or something. You know.
Yeah, no, I need
Part-time
to talk to them on Monday at the very least, just to be like, look, I don't want to do like the hours anymore. I need to have time. So, do you have any opportunities for like part time? Because if
There you go,
know, if not, I'll have to think.
If not, I might have a long think.
Yeah.
It might take me weeks, and I might not be able to come in, but I might not be able to let you know because I'll be really ill at the same time.
Yeah.
You see, I'll let you know that.
I'll be so sick.
One place is hate, man. It would be like, if you were ill, like, it's like even if you were at home, because a lot of this reminded me of my company in a lot of ways. Just obviously some of the stuff is different, call centre, different kind of thing. But
call centres is call centres.
yeah, forgot what I was going to fucking say actually. Then just went over
It
my
reminded you of yours.
Yeah. What was the same before that though? What was it? The thing that we actually said before that? Fuck. It'll come back to me. But we'll probably be finished by then anyway. Whatever. Couldn't have been that important. I was just
No.
talking about how my. Oh yeah. See.
There we go.
Super pain. I was saying about like how my place was anti-juice, and it isn't to the point like when you was at home like actually ill, to the point that, or if there was something, you know, if you had an illness that you knew was going to take days to get over,
Yeah.
like you couldn't just be like, you know, like, or whatever, and you couldn't just be like, I'm going to be off for like 2 days.
Yeah.
You have to call them in the morning between like 8 and like 9:30, or it was like 8 and 9 every
Yeah.
morning, to let them know. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yes, so dumb.
I'm not able to sleep properly as well, and now I'm having to like wake up and try and do this and this. I remember the one time when I was sleeping the once, trying to get to sleep, and we used to have a thing where if you needed to take more calls or do something, like they'd be constantly be like shout at you know, and be like calls dropping.
Yeah.
And I remember suddenly falling asleep and I'd been woke up because I heard the guy shouting for me to pick up a call. That was one of the moments when I was like, yeah, I need to leave.
Yeah, no, this one I just find myself getting infuriated by people who are incapable of understanding what it is I'm trying to explain to them, whether it be because of like dialect differences, or whether it be just because the person I'm talking to is so utterly fucking stupid they do not understand the first thing about how the internet works. It's unbelievable how many times I've had to explain to people how email works.
More and more, you do talk to these people. You kind of understand why these boss people end up hating their stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of get it.
But the thing is, like, you can't expect other people to give you a decent pay anymore. Like, you can't. You've got to work for yourself. It's the only way that you're ever going to be able to make enough money that whilst also sort of having your own time carved out the way you want it to. It's the only way. Like,
I don't know what way is the way anymore, to be quite honest with you, man.
Yeah.
I really, why this now at this point? I've been like, money-wise and all that, and I don't know what the way is, man.
Yeah.
Except of fucking going into crime, but I was also thinking, I don't really see how that would pay too well nowadays.
No, probably not.
Legitimately.
No.
Have to scam banks.
Most of the people have already
It'll be
sold
fun.
their shit to fucking cash converters.
Okay.
Like,
That's the point, like,
yeah.
where do you even sell your stuff to? Like, you know,
Yeah.
there's no point in doing the things if you can't shift the things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can get an ATV from outside somewhere. Where you can take it?
Yeah.
You can take it down to, I don't know, Marky Mark down at the corner Garage.
Marky Mark.
Yeah,
Fucking Mark Wahlberg's there, is he?
Nah, not that one.
Oh,
that'd
I
be
see you
silly.
got a TV.
Too hot. TV, Charlie. Great Mark Wahlberg impression.
Yeah.
I think I'd crack it personally.
I think it was excellent.
I didn't want to say it myself.
But it was excellent.
Yeah, that's a lie. Actually, I didn't want to say it
you
myself.
did,
So yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Right then.
Yeah, I think that's been Squishy Logic for this week.
I think it has been
Yeah.
indeed. I'm sorry to let you know that, every time you bought something on Amazon, you have been contributing to the depths and the pain and the stress and
Yeah.
anxiety of all these people. But,
So have we.
we need an air fryer
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's right.
Problem is, I say that, and I was saying the same thing when I saw the things.
And
I was
remember-
like, I am not going to stop using this either. Oh, no, I won't.
And remember, when it comes to Amazon, right, anywhere can be a restroom if you shit yourself in it.
You know what? That's what Amazon is, actually, considering they're pissing in bottles as well.
Yeah,
They've essentially built the world's largest toilet.
that's true.
People are pissing everywhere.
Yeah.
People be pissing. That's what happened to deal with people. They piss themselves on the ladder and they fell because of that. We don't know. Literally, haven't had the medical report.
Yeah, no idea.
They've gone against the Freedom of Information Act. How does the company go against the Freedom of Information Act?
Yeah,
JFK's killers couldn't go against it in the
Yeah.
end.
yeah.
When they did that,
But
too.
Amazon.
Amazon now, man. Like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They even, managed to take the name of a very famous forest and not been sued by 3 people.
That's true.
That's amazing. They have a logo that I didn't understand until today. Never thought about
And
it.
imagine that all of Amazon started because people were ordering books online. That was it.
Fucking books.
Just books.
How much? You know what? Think about it. How much fucking pain and despair have books caused?
Yeah.
So
Much pain and despair. Basically,
The
all of the
people-
good that books have made throughout existence has now been completely wiped out by the fact that books enabled Amazon.
I mean, I don't know. Like I say, I don't know how much good books have ever done anyway.
Depends on the book, doesn't it?
It does.
Hungry
It does.
Hungry Caterpillar. It's a good book.
It is, but would it not be better if you were told Hungry Hungry Caterpillar by everybody in your village and then you just remembered it off by heart?
No, because then it becomes the Hungry Hungry Hippopotamus, and then after a while it becomes the hippopotamus that was so angry it was hungry, and then the hangry octopus,
Well,
and
that's-
then the octopus that shat itself, and then over years it just becomes a whole different thing.
People say that. You say that, but people have better memory back when they had less things to People have worse memory now with more information at their hands than ever before.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's a weird thing.
Especially with the AI shit, because there's so many times where people just read the AI overview now and they're like, well, that's 100% true then. It's not.
Yeah, you just
The
think-
AI is bullshitting you constantly. You need to fact check this shit.
I mean, it's still better than, to be honest, than just that's still a hell of a lot better than just Googling something and looking at the first link.
Oh, definitely. But what
Still a
you
hell
should
of a lot
do is
better.
you should definitely take all of the Chat
Do both.
GPT stuff and then check it afterwards
Yeah.
against the stuff. Because if
That's
you
what I
find no information related to the Chat GPT thing, it's probably
Yeah.
bullshit.
Because we've learned that you definitely have to do that with some of the things we did before.
Yeah.
It's always getting better, though. That's the thing.
Slowly. Yeah.
But I also think, it's
It passed the Turing test, as we know, as well. That
yeah,
was interesting.
some form of it anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that's been Squishy Logic for
That
this
has
week.
indeed.
So, until next time, keep it squishy.
And forever be logical, my good buddies, and don't go and work at Amazon, you goddamn
Never
nipple.
do it. Don't
Just
do it.
Do it like the rest of us.
And if you do, shit in one of the packages that you're sending.
There you go.
Teach him a fucking lesson.
Yeah, piss in the manager's
Yeah.
mug.
Yeah.
Little wheeze,
Yeah,
micro
yeah,
wheeze.
yeah.
Piss in
Yeah.
everyone's mug.
Here you
Put
go.
it on your own.
Have a refurbished drink.
Oh, wait, no, not the ones that you're going to send to me, though. All of them are the ones you're going to send to us.
No,
you know.
no, those go to the managers. The refurbished drinks only go to the managers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Keep it squishy.
And always be logical.
Baby.